gonna start the stream. Stream started, but yeah.
Stream starter.
Man, there is hardly any show notes. I'm gonna be honest.
I was wondering. I was like, man, I guess we
Hardly
could bitch about
any.
the Cowboys the whole time.
Fuck that team. Y'all want to single say fuck that?
Play it.
Fuck that.
Just play it, because you got it stuck in my head again. And if you don't play it, I'm going to sing it all night. What I gonna say? Say fuck that. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Why don't you just make that our intro music?
Y'all want to single say fuck
Oh,
that?
I'm not even going to. You know what? You're driving everything.
Why?
It's powered down.
You don't have an outlet?
Don't have my. I didn't bring my adapter.
Which
AC adapter. Unless you want to go grab one from Jen.
Does yours use the...
Mine's the same as yours now.
I have my old one. I had to get
It's the micro. The micro to regular. How did our show sound, dude?
I don't know.
Dude, I got to make 3 demos tomorrow for our voiceover company. I'm going to try out Fiverr first.
It's in here somewhere out there. Here's the cable.
I bet you could actually play the whole corn set half the timing, cut all the BPMs in half, and do it at like
The thing's a little
at
weird.
what's the place down in Austin? Lost Will, and you'd have kids thinking you were the greatest thing ever until about halfway through, then they'd be like,
I can see.
no, it'd have to be like this low guttural, like sun.
I'm going blind.
Yeah, I'll do it next time. When we get together where your bass is fired up and my guitar's fired up, we'll have to put it through the click at half the speed and watch yourself get a corn boner.
I think that's the greatest practice device ever made right there.
That might be. Like, I don't know why I wasted the money, the $60 that I did for my full year subscription to Ultimate Guitar, now that this is out, because was that any of that cost? You looked at all that for free. It was just put in corn settings and play the track.
It goes to, you put in what you want, and it goes to YouTube, grabs the video, then it shows you the chords as it's going along. And you're just playing to the YouTube video.
Have you practiced any of the songs with it yet?
No, not that way.
So wait till you do that. You're going to be like, this is the way. Yeah. This is the way.
I'll do it tomorrow.
You need to text me after you rip through the whole set and be like, yeah, this is how you do it. I couldn't
figure out how to get the looper going.
You got to ask Shia LaBeouf. When he in Looper? Well, that's a nifty contraption, buddy. I'm glad you got it, and I will probably be purchasing one. I'm sold.
I like it. Everybody else likes it. Everybody else in the guitar world likes it. We all like it.
I wish I'd have got it for this corn set, but it'll make things easier on other stuff too. But on really though, seriously. Oh, do I not have? Hang on. Did you throw me the cord too?
For what? No, I didn't have brain.
Because I don't think I have the cord.
This cord's a little shifty. Shifty-ifty. Let me know when you're ready to start this show. Greetings, old RoboTuner. Your intro is in the beginning of this show, or your audio that you sent us is in the beginning of this show.
Basically, that whole album is make pubescent sounds out of your guitar.
It really is. It really
make watery jizz out of your guitar. And some of the weird stuff they do on rhythm. So, I don't know if I told you this the other day, but I'm actually learning the parts this time. looking at
No,
the
yeah,
time.
we
Like,
talked about that at the
I'm
studio.
looking at the notes. Like do you know how many ghost notes the rhythm guitar has?
A lot.
Is that all bases? A bunch of weird ghost notes, hip hop sounding like.
You just snap on. You just hit on things.
And then you leave
Hold the
one blank,
strings.
but the next time you hit it,
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah,
It's weird.
I've never seen a band use ghost notes like this,
Got the Life is the weirdest because you got to do this. Frah, frah.
or like a
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. And
That's
it's
cool.
weird.
But you might use that. Like,
Maybe.
honestly, that's the coolest thing about doing it is when you pick up a little thing, a little trick here or there that a guitarist has done, and you figure it out, and then you incorporate it in something that you play later on in life. That's what I love about doing cover sets. You know,
Yeah.
like just the 7-string alone. Like, how many times have I come in here and jammed 7-string with you? Korn, Deftones. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, but this has opened up my eyes on how, like, just doing this time and actually not just playing by a lot of ear, but actually looking at that how things are played
Yeah.
and the timing and the correct notes, like the quarter notes and the little ghost notes that they play and stuff, and seeing actually how it was recorded has broadened my horizons with the 7-string.
All right, you want to start this thing up? Let's start it up.
Looks like it's working so far. Yeah, we can go ahead.
Let's start it up. All right. RoboTuner, your intros or the little audio skit you made is the beginning of this. Did I already say that? I'm telling you, this show's going to be a little ding-dong and dingus.
It's going to be a bunch of crap.
Yeah. All right, here we go. And in 3, 2... I've been counting everything off lately because of the last show.
Yeah.
Because in 3, 2, and I even do that at work.
Well, it's good to do it with
Before
your video.
I fuse things.
Like you're doing videos. That's awesome to do.
Well, yeah, I'd always do it in video. But
In
I've been doing it on
3,
stupid stuff.
2, and 1.
I'm going to get out of my truck, and in 3, 2, and...
It's stuck in your head like Malkovich,
Yeah.
being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Or like,
Did you see my shirt?
yeah.
My Russian AK-47 shirt? What's up?
How'd you get that?
Temu.
I like it.
Temu has an incredible CCCP section. If you go look. It's pretty awesome.
You're donating to
I'm going to wear
communist China.
my Charlie uniform November Tango shirt to the show on Friday. Go.
They're eating the dogs.
I will eat my neighbors.
They're eating the cats.
I will eat your ass.
They're eating the pets.
This episode is brought to you by
Geist Note.
and
Victor Wrench.
and
All right, here
Plastic
you go.
Object.
Thanks for coming out tonight. We'll drag the ocean. This next song is by Metallica. It's called Fade to Black.
Hey, Matt, where are your shoes?
Somebody stole them when I was changing for the gig, and I didn't want to keep the fans waiting.
Okay. Well, remind me of why we have a chef on stage making breakfast.
I thought that would be a good way to have people come out to the gig. Music and food for everyone.
Did we clear this with the club first? That pan with bacon grease is awfully close. I have several
Nah, we'll
questions
be
about
fine.
this.
What other bands that you know of that do this anyway?
That is true. Whoa, man. Watch out. That's my pedal board, and I don't want you to... Holy shit. You just got hot bacon grease spilled on your foot. Now you have foot tulips. Let's get you to a hospital. Show's over, folks. Stick around for breakfast. I have a lot of questions about that.
The Jerry Jonestown
The scene.
Massacre contains graphic material, including offensive language, partial nudity, and completely ridiculous thoughts and opinions that shouldn't be expressed or shared by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
And now coming at you from the Temple of Eye, just on the outskirts of where the West begins.
It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre!
Show number 594. It is September 24th, 2024. Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday, Dustin. Did you know our voicemail is about to expire in 30 days?
Yeah, we need to have someone. Hey, someone out there, call our voicemail right now. That is 682-593-JJTM. 682-593-JJTM. Fill it up so we don't lose our voicemail number. So it doesn't expire.
Fill us up.
Fill it up. Fill it up right now.
Fill it up.
Call us now, and
Fill
we'll
her
play it
up.
on the show later.
Fill her up. How's your Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, by the way.
Happy Tuesday. It's been a fun Tuesday so far.
Yeah, got a little bit cooler weather. You don't hate the world as much.
No. A lot
How
of
it-
people seem to be more happy because it rained this morning. It's going to rain all night tonight, too.
Did it rain last night? I don't even remember.
Yeah, it rained this morning like crazy.
Man, I got to cut back on the mota. It's getting to be
The what?
the mota. But you think I thought I said
What's multa?
mota? Ask our Hispanic listeners what mota is. That's
Here-
Jeremy.
Dear Hispanic listeners, this is Hispanic Appreciation
Jeremy,
Month.
text Dustin when you wake up and hear this tomorrow at like 1 or whenever you wake up and tell Dustin what mota is.
Multa.
Mota.
Malta. Malta.
Not Malta. Mota.
Malta is a country.
Is it communist?
No. No.
Because I'm anti-communist today.
Well, I'm full on communist. Look at my shirt.
I
I'm
saw
proud
that
of
shirt.
the AK-47.
Like all that it's not like we don't have agencies listening to us and knocking on our doors at all weird hours anyway. You got to pull that out.
I just
now we're really
figure-
going to get visited.
If everybody wants to be socialist all of a sudden, you might as well just go full on communism.
Well,
If that's what we're
that's
going to
what
do,
leads to it anyway.
let's just do it.
This
Let's
is-
just do it.
Isn't socialism the half step right into communism?
Yes. So opening the show out, did you recognize that song?
Sounded like Van Damme to me.
It
Is that
was
what it was?
Van Damme. It was released. You know, a few
It
months
was
ago,
released.
we were talking secretly on our show that
about how we're sitting on it.
we had acquired an album that is probably one of the best rock albums we'd heard in a while.
Didn't know what to do with it either.
And we couldn't talk about it, and we couldn't,
Now we can.
but now we can. And it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's on all the streaming services now. You can go out and grab it. It's called Poverty, Death, and Destruction. And how many is it? Is it 10, 12 songs, something like that? I forgot. But it is freaking rad.
Yeah. James is
Yeah,
a,
it poured this
James
morning.
is a special person.
Yeah, it was freaking,
That guy spits out
Pretty awesome.
songs like taking poops.
yeah.
It's amazing the amount of. I wonder what his cut like his closet of untouched demos and stuff looks like.
I lie. It didn't rain this morning. It rained yesterday morning.
Okay, cool. Now I knew
Yeah,
about
no,
it yesterday
it's-
morning.
And it's supposed to rain all night tonight.
It did get very moist last night because I remember going outside and like it's moist out here.
It's very, very moist. The air was moist.
I'm going to start a Van Damme cover band called Van Zant, and we're only going to play west, or is it east of DFW?
You can play west.
You'd think
of
if I was
DFW.
doing real estate, I would know where counties were. Van Zant's east.
No, Van Zant
West.
is east.
It is east.
Yeah.
So we would only play east of the Metroplex, and we're going to play all of Van Damme's music and call ourselves Van Zant. You want to do that? with
In
me?
the feel of Van Zant and Towns Van Zant.
There you go.
That's a lot like the band I came up with last week, which
I probably did.
nobody brought it up. No one said anything about, you're right, we need to do it. Trans Sabbath. I still want that to happen. I want to see it happen. One day.
So
One day.
what about the other one though? The the Christmas one.
Oh, yeah. the
Trans Siberian
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yeah. I want that to happen too.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Our
That'd be great.
trans buddy Trey gave us the approval too, so don't be yelling racist at the podcast show, okay?
Stephen Van Zant
Steve
doesn't count because his last name is Linto. Like the bean? Isn't that a bean?
I think that's pinto, but
There's
lima
a,
beans.
There's an
There's
Alinto bean.
There's lima beans.
There's the lima bean.
There's a good band name.
We are the Lima Beans.
Hey guys.
Anyway, go check out Van Damme.
Yeah, Van Damme is a diamond with a lot of poo poo around it.
They shine.
They shine.
In a metroplex full
full of poo.
full of doo doo.
Doo doo.
They're the diamond.
The diamond in
We
the
were
poo-poo.
surrounded by diamonds. I had so much audio I was going to pull for this show, but I tried to do something earlier on our AI vocal thing, and for the first time ever, I got told, "Nope, you can't do that."
Oh, you stretched the limits, huh? You
know,
did something that you could only do in overseas.
I inputted a voice.
Putin.
I inputted a
Putin.
voice. Nope.
Xi Jinping.
Nope.
Trump.
This woman,
Kamala.
This woman has been on a media tear lately because she just released a book.
Oh, Hillary.
Hillary. I tried to put Hillary in there, and it came back and
What
said,
engine?
"You can't do that." The one we've been using, the one that
Fuck
I was part
them.
of a beta test, and they've given me everything free.
You
So
can
I
do
can't just
any
say
other
fuck that.
politician, but you can't do her, or is it just there's
I
you
think
can't do
they're
any
clamping
Dems?
down. I think they're clamping down because of fucking Gavin Newsom, who is a fuckhead. Because I think their company is in California.
Did you see how he signed that bill too? All cocky.
I don't know,
like-
with his dick, with his left nipple. He probably has Joe Rogan nipples, big fat
I
things.
didn't know he had some some extra pepperonis, the large pepperonis that you get from the deli.
Is there one more useless than Gavin Newsom and all the shit he's signing and putting into
Yeah, I can think of one. She's in the
lentil beans?
White House right now.
Besides that,
She's the most worthless woman I've ever heard of.
I said person, not woman. I'm covering both sexes.
I would say her and I'd say Kamala and
Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom are probably the most worthless.
him.
people. And also, I would say the was it Mitch McConnell and who's the other
Mitch
Republican that
McConnell's
drives us
pretty-
nuts?
Mitch McConnell, but Mitch McConnell
Lindsay, I'm still in the closet, gay. Lindsay,
and the other guy that's here,
Mitch McConnell. Oh,
No.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Ted Cruz aggravates. the
We went through about 4 years of beating the shit out of Ted Cruz. I'm done with him. Like we had our little bout with him. If you don't remember, listen to some early shows. That's all we did was make fun of music.
Out of all, the,
Well, Seth made fun of some other things.
he was the killer, the Zodiac killer. We
yeah,
tried to
yeah.
trace all the lines of him being the Zodiac
Yeah,
killer.
or he
And
was
it
a
all
Sunday
works.
school teacher that had a molestation on his record.
Yeah,
But it was funny. We hated Ted Cruz before it was cool to
before
hate Ted.
everybody hated
Before
Ted
it was
Cruz.
cool to hate Ted
We
Cruz.
really hated
we
Ted
did.
Cruz.
We did, man.
And you know who I'm tired of now? Because he has every other commercial on TV is his
Oh yeah,
competitor. But-
Colin Wright. All right, Colin
Allred.
Allred. Yeah, Colin Allred. There's a house in my neighborhood that's got like 50 Colin Allred signs.
But everybody keeps saying that out of all the races across the country coming up this November,
Yeah.
that's the closest race.
I don't think it is. I think they're setting themselves up like normal. Like we've heard all this
What?
before with Beto.
No, fighting for that Senate seat is between Cruz and
I know.
Allred. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We've heard this before with Beto.
They say the points are right there. I
They
haven't
said the
looked.
same thing about Beto though. And everybody gets kicked in the nuts and then starts crying at the bar, which chat room or wherever. No, boiled out.
Yeah, we heard the boiled
So-
out last time. Where are we
so-
going to do it this time?
You know, I wouldn't bet against Cruzy Cruz, you know, because we do every single time. Remember how many times did that? It was at least 3 election cycles. Beto was gonna do it this time. He's gonna take it, and then
He was pretty close, though.
I think
he
Democrats
was
have a
pretty
short
close.
memory of how fucking hardcore the Republicans are in the rest of Texas.
Well, the problem is a lot of these polls, they don't go out
They just-
to the farmland and interview
That's
know,
the problem with all the polls.
Grandpappy Jim.
They're all cherry picked. All
And-
the polls.
Yeah, no one shows up, and most of the time, these people that live out in the middle of nowhere don't show up to anything until it's time to vote,
Yeah.
and it's all last minute.
The polls are just to scare people to vote, like basically get out and vote, I think. Because as far as indicators of who's going to win the election, I've heard, like this morning, I heard 14 points up for Donald Trump to win the general election, the whole thing. And then I heard another one that said Kamala's winning by 1 in like all the swing states. Well, if she's winning in all the swing states by 1, most of the swing states, right? Wouldn't that mean she would be the 14-point winner of the national one?
It's going to end up being like the 1981 Santa Monica GP.
You're taking it way back. You want to tie the
Where-
dots? You want to connect the dots?
Where the race was ended in rain, and it ended early. So when Formula One races ends early, due to
The
weather
black
conditions.
flag or a red?
Depending on how far they've made it through the race,
Oh yeah.
depends on how many points they get.
Okay.
Well, at the end of that season, it came down to half a point to determine who the Formula One world champion was.
Yeah.
Half a point.
I don't think we're ever going to find out who wins this election, honestly, because it's going to just turn into a civil war no matter who wins. So that's how I see things.
The numbers will never come out.
I don't think so.
You're so
Think about it.
positive. You're so happy.
Am I wrong, though?
No. Either way, everybody's
It's going to be civil war.
Upset.
Like one side's going to say the other side cheated and press it the whole 4 years.
but one
and gridlock
side doesn't
everything.
have guns.
It's true. Well, I don't know. Remember a few years, was it 2 years ago during the midterms when all the trans people were like supposedly doing black ops training and all got blackouts and AR-14s or whatever they went and bought?
Everyone I go shoot with is left leaning, so I don't understand how the left doesn't have guns.
They don't. They just say it in front. It's just like all the Democrats do
They're
and lefts
smart.
do. They just
We
say
we
one
lost
thing.
them in the lake.
That's another thing about Trump. I think there's going to be a lot of people this time around that vote for Trump that didn't last time and then don't admit it. They don't talk about it. You remember that novelty
Well,
idea
yeah,
when
a
you
lot of people-
didn't talk about who you
you
voted
didn't
for?
say who you voted for. Yeah, that could be the same thing with.
You didn't talk
Kamala.
about religion. You didn't talk about politics. But now,
That's all there is.
who'd you vote for? Trump.
Doesn't matter.
Nazi!
Have you seen that movie Civil War yet?
No, I almost clicked on it because I started.
streaming?
I started Slow Horses the next season.
Oh, there's a new season.
There's a new season out. Just
Oh,
started
shit.
it, and it's good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to finish The Terror.
Oh, you still caught up on it? You haven't got out of that misery yet?
I am. I think I have like 2 episodes left.
Where you at? Have you seen any cannibalism yet?
Okay, so the one shifty dude that got lashed,
yeah.
he just started killing people and is standing around naked and like.
Okay,
I
you're
think
getting
he
there.
held his heart up or something.
So you're getting to the
And they killed
where they're losing their minds. Everybody's starting to lose their mind a little bit.
And are they losing their mind because they haven't been around civilization now, 2 years? Or is it the silver in all the cans?
I think it's the silver and the lack of food. Because they're also diminishing their food too as it's going along. Not only are they
Yeah.
eating poison food, but they are also running out of poison food.
Well, the little
So I think it's
carnival
all of it.
festival
That
thing
was so weird.
destroyed a bunch of food. I had to rewind that and watch it to figure out what the fuck was going on. Like, who died? Who didn't?
It wasn't
die? Who
shot
did this?
well though. Like the
No,
cuts.
It
the
was
cuts,
shot creepy.
Oh, I didn't go back and watch it because I was like, man, that wasn't shot. I don't like it when you get confused by the shots, like your continuity in your shot, your takes. You know, the 180 rule or the jump cut rule and all that. I hate it when people mess with that
I
because
think
it
it was
screws
shot
me
that
up
way on purpose, so it'd
for
be
chaos.
creepy
Yeah,
and make it feel more chaotic. And
it was a scary
weird.
thought.
then
23 other guys, wasn't it? Then?
And I couldn't remember if the Inuit girl died or not. And then finally she showed up later. And was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're cool.
Wait till the ending. The ending might be the most eerie
Over the top.
scene I've ever witnessed a show end on.
If I can, I may finish it tomorrow while I'm working. But yeah, it's a good show.
There's
That
one
was
part I
really
want to
good.
ask if you've seen yet, just to ask. So has Weird Guy moved out on his own colony kind of yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
No,
'Cause wait till they leave.
they were on a hunting party.
Yeah.
And so they went out in threes.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the guys his party, that's the 3 of them, his commanding officer saw some Inuits coming across. They're on the hill, so he waves him down, goes down and talks to them.
Mm-hmm.
And the Inuits are all nice, and they're giving them jerky and food and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And then he turns around to go see where the crazy dude went and the other dude, and he goes up, and the crazy dude's naked all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
you're
on
right
top of
there.
the other guy.
You're right.
And then he
The
turns
next
around and-
episode.
He stabs that dude so fucking fast.
Oh, yeah. That's how they do in prison, man. With shanks.
Dude, and then when he lays down, you're like, there's like 30 cuts in his chest. That was so fast.
All the deaths are brutal. What about that? What'd you think about that captain of the Armada that fell freaking with his legs gone,
When the
half his
polar
body
bear threw him
gone,
in the hole.
and they do the point of view. They're like this in the bottom of a shit pit that goes to the ocean. That was their shit.
Yeah. And they would
And he was
throw
chopped in
bodies
half
in
and
there.
still alive.
And they would throw bodies in there. I thought he was going to get just stuck in there and die stuck in the
No,
middle
he
of that
died
pit.
pretty quick.
But he slid down in the water. And it was,
And lived out his last seconds in shit water. Not being able to swim away because his whole half his body was gone.
it's pretty hardcore. And I really want to read up on the English Armada.
Oh, the stuff they went through?
Yeah, the stuff.
Yeah,
they,
it's
if
cool.
They really
All
when
that
they-
experimentation.
when they
like,
were exploring that part of the
exploring
world,
and-
did they really get their ship stuck for years?
I bet some of them did, especially
Wait for it to
around
thaw
the polar sections. And then also, I liked how the guy, when they were claiming territory, like how they were trying to document it and stuff. I wonder if that's how it was. There was always someone next to you, and it's like, all right. Remember when they were documenting? I don't know if that was supposed to be the North Pole or what. It was supposed to be something.
Yeah.
And they thought it was America, and they started documenting everything, but it was really the natives, I think, wasn't it?
No, because I think they were. I thought that
I know they
was
were
a marker thing for saying that it was the North Pole.
But the way they were claiming it was
They were
for
like, because they said something about. I'm surprised the natives haven't torn it apart or.
But
taken it down or
the way
whatever.
they immediately had like a notary or something that was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is ours. The colonizers are like, oh, look, land, it's ours.
It's like that island that
There wasn't much due diligence done by the colonizers.
they say it's a joking war that's been going on for years, but there's an island between Canada and Greenland, and it's just a small little island, but there's a flagpole on it, and
Yeah.
they take turns claiming it. Whoever's around will go up and take the other flag down.
I
and
think
put
Drag
theirs
the
up.
Ocean should try to take over that island right off of Hawaii
And
because they don't. We've already been told they don't have guns.
We have been told they don't.
They
Well,
don't have running. They have no electricity, do they? Or they have
I think they have
electricity?
electricity now.
Do they?
Mhm.
But they've made an issue about how they do not have the one. There's one
No.
gun on there, and it's by the guy that owns the place. We could take them out.
I've seen the beginning of
The hard part is getting
Raiders
from
of the Lost Ark, where that one guy will just go, whoosh, whoosh,
yeah,
and the next thing he'll be chased and.
or just us getting from Kauai to that island that's like 7 miles away. That would be the hardest part for you, Dave,
even
and me,
that
and
far apart?
Peter.
I thought it was just like a mile away because I remember
Oh, is it?
standing on top of
It's pretty close.
the Nepali coast, looking and being like, "That island's just right there, and we can't go to it. Can't just fly a helicopter
See,
over there." and
that's
be like,
exactly what would happen. We'd end up starting. We're going to do it this time. We'd have like a little flat bottom boat from like Ennis, Texas, or something that we got. We're like, we can make this. We can, and then a
Why would
storm
we
would
take
blow
a
in
boat from Ennis, Texas,
'Cause
to
it's cheap.
Hawaii?
because it's cheap.
Doesn't make any sense.
Imagine the natives. Two guys in a
In a bass boat,
flat bottom boat with a trolling motor trying to get across with a flag
we'd be
and
like
an
those,
AR. We're coming.
We'd be like those guys that rolled up on the
I still
cannibals,
think we could
thinking
take
they
'em.
could
Yep.
change them to Christianity, and the next thing you know, they're dead and eaten.
And thrown into a shit pit and ice.
Yeah, that show's pretty wild.
Yeah, you're getting to the nitty gritty too. There's the next series, the next show. Text me or call me after the next show because I want your take on the most shocking scene I think I've ever seen. And then also, you're getting close to the end. I want your take on how that bad boy ends.
Is it better than The Wire?
When
It's
have you
just
been-
like, well,
No, no, it's a different feel.
if
You'll
you haven't
see.
seen the series The Wire, should I go spoilers? Spoiler alert.
I don't even know if I remember how the very end. Didn't they just go to prison?
No, the end of The
What's
Wire.
his face died, and then what's his name ended up in prison. Didn't
And
he?
it's just like one of those scenes like, you did all this stuff, and it did nothing. Like, everything just keeps going.
It is like that, but
It's
you'll
just-
see.
Like, it just like, you thought you were cleaning up the streets, but no.
When you see it, you'll be like, son of a bitch, they're going to roll credits right here. And sure enough, they do. And you're going, what the fuck? Because I don't know where you're watching this. I'm watching this at home. And every time I watched one of the episodes, I felt dirty. Like I needed to take a shower because it's such a disturbing show. It's dark. Even the intro.
My coworkers would knock on my truck while I'm watching it, and I'd just open the door like, ah!
What is it?
What?
You're giving coordinates for like Antarctica to them? Or
My clothes are ripped to shreds. I'm half bloody and dirty.
you're about to eat your partner?
Uh,
So The next one though, I'm pretty sure you'll be like, okay, it is a dark show. Like, by the way, speaking of dark shows, another one that I'm starting. I hope it's dark.
RoboTuner says Slow Horses is a bit of a slow start. It is, but it gets going.
Yeah, you got to let
It's
the
fun.
characters develop.
I
a little
love
bit.
Slow Horses.
And turn the subtitles on; it'll help you go quicker too. Because
Yeah.
some of the accents that they use are pretty. What do you call it? Yiddish, or is that Jewish? What is Yiddish?
It's very.
What's the like the country English people and the different accents and
Cockney?
yeah, like there's all kinds
Cockney.
of Cockney, whatever they say. So. And maybe Slow Horses is waiting on you.
To
Maybe
catch
you're
up.
too slow.
Maybe they want you to catch up.
Yeah.
But what's his name is fucking genius in it.
I like
Gary
your
Oldman. Gary Oldman's
Oh, yeah.
fucking great in it.
I like your work too, RoboTuner. He's the one that did our intro. If you didn't notice,
About
Did you
dropping
say that earlier?
hot oil.
about dropping hot bacon grease on my foot, which is completely healed now. Weirdest thing ever. That salt water pretty much sped up the healing of that injury by at least 2 weeks. I
Salt
think.
water's good for you.
Really is, except
really
for
is.
the bacteria that's in the sand. But the salt is awesome for it.
So you didn't bury your foot in the sand for a little bit and then go put it in salt water?
I think that happened by just
Accident.
yeah, several times. But once you get in the salt water, it's like, hey, we're all good. All the AIDS and piss and poo that you got from the ocean washed away.
That area is about to be washed away this week.
Is it going there, or is it you talking about the hurricane? Is it going there, or is it coming here?
It's supposed to be going towards Panama City Beach and Tampa, somewhere right between there.
So, yeah, the east part of the Gulf, huh?
Yeah.
Well, lucky for them, I guess unlucky for us, because I like hurricanes when they come to Texas.
I like having
Except for the
storms and rain.
Destruction that it causes down south, but they'll get over it, right? They got homeowners insurance.
I'm just glad it's not going at New Orleans because I'm ready for a New Orleans trip.
Well, that would be a morbid trip if you were going to fix things up after a major hurricane. You mean you want to go hang out like
I
us,
just want
the
to go down
boys?
to
The
New
boys?
Orleans. No, everybody.
Wait, you're still not clarifying. Are you wanting to go to the death and morbid terror of a hurricane, or you want to go down
No.
there and just hang out with the boys? It sounds like you're wanting New Orleans to be destroyed again.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't want New Orleans
Doing a
to
lot
be
of words.
destroyed because.
Let me guess. You grew up
I'm
in the
ready.
middle class.
Yes, but I don't want. I want to go. I'm ready for another New Orleans trip. I just don't want to go down there when it's destroyed.
By the way, that's my excuse for everything now.
Oh, you grew up.
If I
middle
get
class?
anything wrong or anything, all right. First of all, I grew up in the middle class.
And it could work both ways. Either you weren't educated enough.
Or you had encyclopedias.
Listen, I was in the Fort Worth school system.
I grew up in the middle class.
And the Fort Worth school system had cadavers. No, that was the.
You know
city
what
of
you
Fort
should do?
Worth cadavers.
Here's what you should do. You should go on a mission and include Corby and include Kamala and just listen. I went to TCU, and then right after that, immediately, listen. I grew up in the middle class.
I grew up in the middle class.
I grew up in the middle class. What do you think the most dumbest thing she said so far is? AI is
no. There was
two
something-
letters that stand for artificial intelligence.
No, there was something today that I was like, "You've got to stop." Like, if you won't give interviews to reporters,
Just drop out. Let
just-
someone that wants to win it.
I literally looked at my phone and went, "You gotta stop fucking talking. Just shut up."
Both of them.
Because it was something really bad. I know everybody's going off on the gun comment. The whole Oprah Winfrey thing was out of control.
Did you hear that garbage?
Holy fucking shit. Holy
Like
shit.
it's creepy because it's propaganda.
Yeah.
And
that
two,
was bad.
And two, the way that Oprah just lost all journalistic integrity and just started
What
like
happened to
basically doing
her?
Is she an infomercial person now for politicians?
Like,
it was like an infomercial.
anytime we have someone on the show now, we gotta introduce them. Like, and tonight with us is Robo Tuner. Yeah,
Susie Ramon.
like the intro of their show.
Yeah,
you just got to do that. Like anybody that comes in Tonight's guest is Van Dam. Like, what was that?
I don't know, man.
All the celebrities that were in the crowd.
The thing is,
she
it
kept doing
shows
that
how
too. It's like,
dumb that
what the
it
fuck?
shows how dumb that her party thinks that Americans are.
No, it's
They
how
keep doing
she's
things that-
dumb.
Who?
Oprah.
I think they think the whole country is as dumb as Kamala and Oprah.
And should you have Jennifer Lopez on with all this P. Diddy shit going on? Where when they were married,
I forgot about that.
she's
Yeah, they were.
like
Yeah,
hand in hand
I
with.
totally forgot they were an item for a while.
She was there with all the white parties and everything. Like, I
So,
don't- like,
has
I don't-
any names actually been floated out, like completely verified
Oh,
yet,
yeah.
or is it all speculation?
No, there's been
So
a lot of
Ashton
names.
Kutcher's in it, supposedly, right?
Meek Mills, Rick Ross, like half the hip
don't-
Jay-Z,
The
half the hip hop East Coast hip hop community is all into it.
50 Cent's not,
No,
because he always thought he was a bitch or something like that, right?
yeah,
I don't think he's talking
Eminem's
like
not
that.
because for 2 decades Eminem's been telling everybody that P Diddy's a raper, not a rapper,
Yeah.
and he really came out on the last record.
What
And
about
said it straight
they're
up.
saying all the
Justin
ties
Bieber?
to, well, Justin Bieber.
That video of him looking like he's doing something wrong in a club.
Oh yeah, and also the one with Pink, like getting all on his ass and stuff, pretty much sexually harassing, which I know people. It's a touchy subject because it's female on male, but I don't know.
I don't.
There's actors, there's politicians. Like,
Yeah.
is this going to bleed into the Epstein stuff?
No.
I like how the libtards immediately try to say, Donald Trump has said something nice about P. Diddy. That means he's a pedophile. Donald Trump's a pedophile.
But wait a second.
Donald Trump's a pedophile. He shook hands with Diddy.
Stop.
He shook hands
Stop,
with Diddy.
Stop.
Yes,
Because
yes.
in 2020, P. Diddy put together an entire campaign stop, an entire thing for Kamala.
No. You're racist.
Okay.
You're racist. You're a racist.
Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll just show you right here. I'm trying to find what she said today that made me go insane. And just said, shut up. They both need to just shut up.
Everybody, shut up.
Shut up. Here it is. No, is this
Yes.
it? Hold on.
On.
No, it's not this one. Oh, it was a thing. And I was just like,
Did you see the video that's going around too of her like running her mouth, like doing a shuck and jive to deportation?
did you see the video where she's in Seinfeld?
And now, huh?
Where they put her in Seinfeld?
No. That's the one thing. Okay, so if there is an upside to her dumbass getting elected, it's that we will have, kind of like when Trump first got in, we will have comic relief for 4 years, the dumb shit that she's going to do.
And is Trump just giving up?
What do you mean?
Like, all his campaign stops now seem like they're like he's auditioning.
Like storytelling time?
It's either storytelling or he's auditioning for stand-up. Like he's working on his routine, like he's working
Yeah.
out the kinks.
You know when Trump is the most funniest is when he's not trying to be funny. Like when he just says something in his tone and stuff. It was the greatest.
find
Like
it.
all that stuff. That's when he's the most funny, is when he's just like ripping stuff off the cuff and he's not really like. Did you finally watch that Theo Vaughn interview yet? You son of a bitch. You say you're MAGA. You can't even watch a damn
Yeah,
interview with
got
your president.
I got my MAGA hat on right now.
I should have brought your MAGA hat.
Let me put my MAGA hat on.
I'll bring it next week.
No, because I'm not a big fan of Theo Vaughn, so I'm not just seeking him out all the time.
Oh, here we go.
Now, if Trump sat down with like Cam Patterson
If you went down to Austin and did Kill Tony.
or he sat down with,
What if Shane-
Segura,
What if Shane dressed up as him?
and they interviewed each other?
Yeah.
I'm in. I
That'd
would
be-
watch that all day long.
Man, they should try to put that together. They got the building blocks for that already.
Or if they, he went on Your Mom's House, or he went on Two Bears, One Cave. I'd watch that. But
Yeah.
Theo, man, I used to like doing cocaine. I've seen that clip. That
Yeah,
clip's
well,
funny.
that's pretty much the funny. That's the craziest part is
What's
when
cocaine like?
he's talking about drugs and Trump's like,
Like Trump hasn't even drank, right?
I don't think so.
There's something like that,
It
like
says
he's
he's never
never
touched
had-
alcohol.
But didn't he have a?
Diet Coke problem's the only thing I've heard.
But I thought he had his own vodka out, and there were commercials of him like,
Is there Trump vodka?
yeah. At one
my
time, he had his
gosh,
own
dude.
alcohol out. At
That's-
one time,
I wonder if it was corn. Corn vodka or potato. If it's potato, I'm in.
grape.
Actually, I don't drink anymore, but
Trump vodka. I think it was vodka, right?
does Trump have an alcohol
Trump
endorsement?
vodka was an American brand of vodka produced by the Trump Organization.
Oh, okay.
It was produced at
Did you
first
ever
in the
have any?
Netherlands, then later in Germany. No, I'm from the middle class, so I couldn't afford Trump vodka.
But you had Ciroc, and don't try to act like you didn't.
I fucking love Ciroc
That's because you're a pedophile.
because it's P Diddy's, right? And he'd buy Ciroc.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, that's how I got my diddler.
And guess what
instincts.
happened when I drank your Ciroc? I ended up banging a dumpster in a parking lot.
That wasn't Ciroc.
That was Ciroc night.
I thought it was Mio and Tito's.
No, that was when we got to the bar. But before we got to the bar, I downed you had a bottle of P. Diddy's new vodka. Try this, Matt. It's awesome.
It wasn't new because
It's
I used to
awesome, man.
drink that back in the ex-Mobius days.
You're going to love this.
I used to. Ciroc's great.
Then you're a pedo.
And Grey Goose. I'd go back and
You'd
forth.
mix vodkas?
Yeah.
See,
And
I
Crystal.
what? You mix meth with your vodka?
Crystal Head vodka.
I stick to the potato mesh.
Here it is. Trump himself is a non-drinker and never drank his own Trump vodka, as he blamed alcohol for the death of his brother, Fred Trump Jr.
That's a band name, Fred Trump Jr.
FTJ.
Fred Trump Jr. Jr. I'm still trying to get to our show notes.
They're not that great. This is a way better show than our show notes.
Let's see.
Something happened in Israel.
Yeah, the escalation.
No, with Trump vodka.
What?
It says Trump vodka started being sold unofficially in Israel by H Pixel International based on a signed deal, blah, blah, but Trump brought a lawsuit against the company for copyright infringement. However, he dropped the lawsuit and allowed them to sell Trump vodka in Israel,
Hey, Dustin,
which led to them bombing.
can I read you an email we just got from, a listener named Jessica Corda?
Yeah, go
She
for it.
says, I adore sucking dicks.
I adore.
I adore sucking
I
dicks,
adore,
and I'm
okay.
very interested in dating. I want to meet you in person.
Sweet.
Are you truly a man?
Yes.
I adore sucking dicks.
That's a great mail. Piece of mail you got
Quick
there.
question. Hey, are you truly a man? Because I adore sucking D.
It appears you don't have permission to access this page.
Oh, we got 2 messages from her.
Oh, she gave
If
us
I
another-
show you all my secrets, will you come to me tonight?
Well, does she have a dick?
That's the only way we're jizzing, is if she has a dong, right?
Yes. That's the only way I'm coming over is if you have a dick.
Dustin and I are into some really weird stuff now, and basically we like sexy women that can,
Reply to her. No, don't reply to her because
No, that'll
it's a hack.
and it'll be
Yeah.
like 50, like, excuse me, are you still there? Are you still there?
Can I pee in your butt? We'll bring that back from year 1, JJT.
Year 1, we didn't pee in enough butts, so we need
Yeah,
to start doing it
we
again
gotta
at
do
the
it
age
again.
of 47.
It's 2024.
48.
We're bringing it back. Can I pee in your butt?
So, while we're shooting the shit, you went to a football game this weekend. I just
did.
wanted to get your take on this shit show.
I was very excited before the game because there seemed to be a lot more blue than purple in that stadium. But as the game went on,
It's flip-flopped.
the colors flip-flopped. And it became, once again,
Yeah.
a Baltimore
Baltimore game.
So I found out,
What do
and
you
I don't
think's
know if
the
this
deal?
is true, but I found out that if you're a season ticket holder with the Baltimore Ravens, one of the things you get, and I don't know if you do this to Cowboys or not, because I'm middle
Get
class.
first dibs on
No,
some tickets
they
released.
give you
some road
an
games.
away game,
Oh, okay.
one away game a year, and so a lot
That's
of
a
the
great
Baltimore
idea.
fans choose coming here for this game,
Mhm.
and so there
Oh,
were
we
a
have the prettiest
lot of out of towners
Yeah.
in for this game. The crowd was not as trashy as the New Orleans crowd. It was a
Wow.
little more classy. A little more classy. A little more.
Baltimore.
It wasn't East Baltimore like The Wire.
The Wire.
It wasn't The Wire.
What's his name?
You didn't hear anybody
Going.
walking on the street whistling "Farmer in the Dell."
Omar.
Omar's coming.
Yeah.
Omar's coming.
Man, this is a weird show. We've gone to the Wire twice already, and we haven't even been 30 minutes in.
So yeah, it wasn't East Baltimore crowd; it was regular Baltimore crowd. But they were a lot. They handled themselves a lot better.
Wait a
than
second,
the New Orleans
Coach.
crowd.
What Baltimore are we playing? Are we playing East Baltimore? Because then we're fucked.
Yeah.
But if we're playing West Baltimore, we got a shot.
Although I've been told East Baltimore's pretty now, are getting gentrified.
I haven't been to D.C. area since '94, so I would
I've
not
never
know.
been.
We
I'd like
should
to
up
go.
there. Oh, it's awesome.
I'd like
All
to
the
go.
history and stuff.
I'd like to
Let's
go
do it.
to the Smithsonian Air and Space.
Oh, it's fucking awesome, man. So is the FBI museum. The FBI museum blows you away because they show a bunch of stuff that they've confiscated. Like they take you on a tour of
Really?
what they've confiscated, and it's amazing.
Do I get to see?
Now this was 20 years ago or 30 years ago, so it might have changed. It might be sucked now, but I know when I went, I loved it.
Do I get to see the log cabin of my leader, Ted Kaczynski,
Hitler,
the Unabomber cabin?
is he in D.C.?
No, but they took his cabin and rebuilt it in one of the
Oh,
of the
that's right.
FBI. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
in the FBI office or where
Yeah.
at, but they took it all completely apart and then rebuilt it in
Yeah,
one of the, and it's supposedly still standing
yeah.
in that warehouse. So, do you get to walk by it? Did you get to see it?
There's a bunch of stuff that you get to walk by. I don't remember if that was if I particularly saw that or remembered that. Like I don't remember that. Is what I'm trying to say.
What about the greatest book ever written?
A lot like Cynthia Siggity Gitty didn't just then.
He's gay, but he's blind.
But he's black, but I don't know about
But he's
that. But I know about
gay.
that if I know about it.
Uh,
I love it when she hits the panic button live on air.
is the manifesto though there?
I can't remember.
Industrial
Man.
Society.
I wasn't into serial killers and mass murders and stuff at that age.
He
yet.
wasn't
I
a
was just
mass
18.
murderer. He wasn't a serial killer. He only got a couple of people, but he was a threat to mankind.
Dustin obviously has read the manifesto a few times.
I have read it, and
FBI.
everything links up to what's going on to today.
Okay.
It's like the guy saw the future. He might have been the smartest man alive. He just was a little unhinged and sent
How many
bombs.
hats have we sold?
Why are you uncomfortable with this?
I just think that we're really close to getting shut down. And it's not because of what has been told
Let's
to me.
ride that edge. Come on.
I think we are.
Let's
I think
ride.
we're already down. You know how
Let's
the
get in the
you know how-
pipeline.
You know how right before the wave breaks,
Yeah.
the pipeline's about
We're
to
in
form.
it. We're in it. We're in the tube.
We're one of those little we're on a boogie board that's cheaply bought from like Walmart or Costco,
Yeah.
and we're starting to swell up into it. And we're like, oh shit,
It's the
we
same.
didn't mean to do this.
It's the same styrofoam they make the styrofoam airplanes out of. It won't even hold together.
yeah, yeah.
It's real snappy.
And the old school 7-Eleven coolers that you used to put beers in.
Do you know what would happen if I saw the manifesto in person? I'd be like,
Why don't you
there
get
would
it
be
tattooed, man?
so
Get
much
it tattooed
power.
on your butt cheek,
What, the whole manifesto?
the left and the right.
Just all of it written out? It's a big manifesto. But I'd be like, oh, feel the power. Feel the power.
DC is a cool place to go to, though. And now
Is it?
it probably sucks, but back
I've
in
heard
the day.
it. I know. I want to go. I want to go.
The only thing
I'd
that
go
sucked
there.
about DC is the freaking subways are horrible. They make New York's seem like church choir.
Well, it is the greatest in the world.
I thought Paris was.
I don't know. I've always been told the MTA is the
Didn't
best
we-
ever.
I think we've actually argued about this and looked it up, and it was Paris.
Was it?
I think so.
Let's see what this is.
Or it might have been.
Let's see.
Does London have one?
Best subway
Highest rated.
system.
Because
in
honestly, the Russian
world.
one that they had going around a while back looked pretty clean.
It was clean, but was it the best?
Is it New York or is it Paris?
Do you want to learn from CNN?
Yeah, let's take CNN's word for this real quick.
All right.
Word.
Ooh.
Word.
London Underground is.
That's the-
These aren't in order, or these aren't numbered. They just
Oh,
said-
no. Oh, yeah. We want the highest rated one. Customer service wise, safety wise.
Huh. The best subway systems in the world rated.
Don't
What was
you-
that website that used to do all the ratings?
See, this
stuff?
this ain't makes me mad because you shouldn't be looking this up. Our producer should. The one that's at home right now in our chat room
Yeah.
that made an intro for
All right.
us.
Here we go. You ready? This
Yeah.
is by Four Doors Travel. World's best subway systems ranked. Do you want me to start from the bottom or the top?
How many are there?
There's 20.
Just do 5. The top 5.
All
Top
right.
5. Top 5.
Number 5.
Top 5, bottom 5. How about that?
All right, let's do the bottom 5 first.
All right.
Bottom 5. Number 20, Paris. No.
Well, sorry.
Number 20,
I could see
Dubai.
me- Really?
Well, it's still being created, and most of
Oh,
it's
is
a
it?
monorail
Yeah.
system because
So-
you can't be digging through the sand.
Give it 15 years, it'll be like this ultra space. It'll go to the moon and back or something.
You'll be transported by molecules. You'll just
It'll be
go in a
trans.
tube.
It'll be a trans.
It'll be like Star Trek. You'll be beamed across the place. Number 19, Sao Paulo. That sucks.
I didn't know
wanna go down
Brazil
there.
had a freaking subway. Why does Dallas and Fort Worth not have a subway?
Because this town, these both cities are full of idiots. Singapore, 18.
We need to get to that too. By the way, that was a really fun race to
No,
watch.
we're gonna-
race
we're gonna get
weekend.
to
That was
that.
that was a totally fun race weekend,
And we're,
except for freaking that
except for
the qualifying.
the tear cry at the end.
Well, and that
it's
Sands
the end.
that Sands crash was scary to me.
Yeah, that was
I thought
pretty
he
hard.
was, but because I don't know if you remember. We'll get into it later.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Guangzhou in
don't-
Hong Kong.
I don't know where that's at. China doesn't count. We throw them out. So,
Hong Kong's on their own.
oh, they are.
Taipei is, and the last one of the bottom 5 is Madrid. Good.
Spain, huh?
Good. I'm not going to Spain.
Madrid. Why would you not want to go to Spain?
No, I want to go to Spain, but I don't want to ride their subways then. If they're
No,
like
I
that.
want to go to the country. In Spain.
Berlin is number 14 of 20.
All right, top
Right above
5.
Spain. Top 5. Number 5, Stockholm, Sweden.
I bet that's nice.
Theirs are cool.
I bet
All
you
these
there's been
pictures
some-
from there are insane.
I bet you there's been some pornography shot on that one.
Probably. Number 4, Moscow. Like you said, Soviet Union, beautiful.
The pictures that they were showing when they were comparing Putin's subways to what's his name, Como's subways, or
Yeah.
one of the New York government people.
The top 3 makes sense to me. And I bet you these top 3 are interchangeable. Number 3 is Paris.
Paris.
Number 2 is London.
And then the big
The
one.
2.
The
Number 1 is New York. And I bet you these could be intertwined.
Where's
moved in and out,
Washington,
depends where
D.C.
it
on
is.
that list?
Ooh, they don't even show up.
They didn't even make the list.
Let's
Is there
see.
Baltimore, D.C., Virginia, anything?
No one else in the U.S. stands out.
So it didn't even make the bottom 5 list. So that should tell you how DC's subway is. Now, it was easier to figure out where you were going. It wasn't like the New York one where you gotta solve the Da Vinci Code to know where you're going.
I watched House of Cards. I know how that New York subway or that D.C. subway system works. And when you don't like someone, you just shove them in front of the trains.
Hot chicks that are
Yeah.
into you, trying to further their career.
What kind of waste was that? That was the
Very
one
wasteful.
thing in that show that I was like, why
you
did
ever
you
finish
just
it?
waste that? No.
Because I didn't either. Once the stuff came out about Spacey, I was like, I don't want to finish this now.
Yeah, and I hated her character so much, which you were supposed to. You were supposed to hate her because it was basically, well, the whole show was based around Bill and Hillary. And I hated the way she was in that whole thing that I did not want to see her in power.
I'd rather her be in power than what is trying to get in power now.
Oh, in real life
Mm-hmm.
versus fake life?
Mm-hmm. Like a fake Democrat back then is better than the one we're about to put in office.
I thought that she was fake too. Boom, boom.
The jokes write themselves during
They're just
election
going.
season, man.
I still need to find that thing I was looking at that made me just shake my head and go, shut
All right,
up.
for real. Cowboys. What is the problem, man? You've been out there for 2 home games, right? They've had one away game and 2 home games now. New
It was
Orleans
good.
and the you mentioned the Baltimore Ravens.
So
What the fuck
hold
is
on.
this team's problem?
Let me tell you more about the game and my game day.
Yeah, tell me about that too.
Because it was a long day for me because this was our first
A
halftime show of the year.
little down there.
and it was for Hispanic Appreciation Month, and it was
Isn't every Sunday out there Hispanic Appreciation Day?
Yeah, but they got a whole month this month. And it was fun. It was a beautiful halftime show. You get the girls out there with their dresses. I forget what it's called.
Quinceañera?
No, that's when they
Think that's
turn
what-
16. But it's like they're waving it around.
What special dresses then? You got to bail me out of this then. You got to. You can't just leave me in there with
Susie, what are they
teenage
called?
dresses. Quinceañera dresses.
No, that's a different dress. These
know
are
what
the
you're
ones
talking
they
about.
wave around,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
fan
yeah,
around.
yeah.
You see them like
the
with the
mariachis and
ballpark
stuff.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the mariachis. And it's so awesome. It's so pretty.
And ponchos, when they bring your
It's cool.
tacos, when you've raised the flag, they wear those?
No.
They don't?
No, the team was fantastic. The DCRB and the drumline performed. It was beautiful. It was they hammered it like just.
So everything's looking great.
It was great, but that was halftime. We were already down 28-3 or some shit like that, or 28-7 or 28-6. Ballet Folklorico.
Licorice. Ballet licorice.
Yes.
You mean those ballet licorice dresses they have?
I'm a dumb American.
No, you're not.
Anyway,
I bet you 90% of white males don't know the name. Know that. So
Folklorico.
yeah, no, I don't know if you pronounced it right there, but I guarantee you that 90%
Folklorico.
fecal matter.
They taught us how folklorico. See, she even did it phonetically for us.
Is it not?
But they taught us how to do the. I can't do it now. Not what you were doing, but they do a different one.
They do the was it not the chingao, the
It's another call.
what was it ching? It's
I forgot what it was, but they taught us how to do it, and I can't do it right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And that was cool. It was everything.
Just
was great.
don't try
And
to
then-
attempt it at a Mexican festival when you're 15 margaritas in and you're with your family.
And you call everybody the white way.
This is the white way of doing things.
Oh my
and
God.
promote your podcast at newly launched
You're
podcast
like,
in front of
oh
everyone.
my God. So, yeah, we're already getting our ass beat, but the halftime was fantastic. And then they started coming back.
Was it trash points though?
But like the third quarter, most of the Cowboy fans had already started walking out. But then the fourth quarter, you start getting this coming back, and you're like, huh. But Baltimore is terrible in the fourth. That's how
they've
they've given up
notoriously so
the
far.
first two games.
Weren't they
That's how
0 they were 0-3 or 0-2?
0-2. But this is how they start. This is how they've done all season. Is they give it up in the fourth quarter, and so it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
we could.
Are they
pull
still
this
like
out.
a primarily defensive league with a badass quarterback and just rely on him to make plays happen? And
I'm not big on Baltimore. I don't know.
I'm not big on Dallas. I don't know. What are they supposed to do?
What
I
I'm
know
not-
we're still
I'm
doing
gonna
the
tell you
running back
right
by
now-
committee, and it looks terrible.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
That-
I'm not big on the NFL because of these stupid fucking new rules that are
Oh yeah, the
stupid.
kickoff and all that.
the kickoff thing's dumb.
So lame.
The onside kick shit, because Dallas tried it twice. Do you know the whole story about this?
The new kickoff rules?
No, on an
Watched
onside
it.
kick.
Oh no, I've not. Is it something about a penalty if they screw it up 2 times in a row or something like they
No.
used to?
No,
Didn't they
you-
used to have something like that?
No, before you do it,
Yeah.
you can't sneak it anymore. You have to declare it so the other team's ready for it.
Stupid.
Way fucking stupid.
You know what
and
else
you
is
can only
stupid?
do it twice, and you can only do it in the fourth quarter now.
You know what's funny is, do you ever watch?
And you can only do it if you're down.
Do you ever watch Australian rules or the
Every once in a while when I come
rugby?
across it, yeah.
those dudes are so brutal.
Yeah.
And they've kept their sport like awesome. Like every single one of their matches in Australia and the UK are packed. Everybody's a freak.
We have a badass rugby team here
Well,
that plays hardcore.
yeah, that probably plays more hardcore than the NFL.
Oh,
the
yeah.
NFL is flag football
It's the
now.
no fun league.
It really is. I'm being honest. And another thing
It's
that they could
horrible.
do is they could chill out on the 75 fucking Kamala Harris commercials every commercial break too.
How about just chill out on all the commercials? Because now I have been trained
That'd be so
to
awesome.
watch an entire sporting event, whether it be
Sound off.
no
I do that.
football or F1, where there's no fucking commercials.
Oh, streaming or
No.
what?
No, football has no. The soccer, the EPL has no commercials.
Oh, you mean rip them out? Yeah, I'm totally in agreement.
Have solid play. I'm tired. Well, I'm always at the Cowboy game, except for the road games. But like when I watch a road game of them, and it's commercial after commercial after commercial, like he threw the ball, it's down, commercial time. All right, third down,
Someone's
Oh,
tying their
someone's
shoe.
hurt.
TV timeout.
TV timeout. We got to go to this. Oh, it's time for us to switch. It's time for kickoff. Another commercial. There's so many fucking commercials, and there's only like I think so many people have done this. There's only
Yeah,
8
the
minutes
amount
of
time
action.
that's actually played.
8
Yeah.
minutes of action in a 3-hour football game.
Is it that lopsided, or is that
Yeah.
per half?
But like soccer was one thing because you do have commercials at halftime. But Formula One, once
You see how my boy Hollins started the season already, by the way?
once the race
Guy's a
starts,
beast.
you do not have
Fuck you,
any
Dante.
commercials until Sky dumps it back to ESPN.
Yeah.
And that is after the ceremony.
And the lady says,
the interviews.
and the lady mispronounces Azerbaijan and then
Oh yeah, that's so awesome.
overpronounces Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Like that, the lady that goes, "Thank you for watching our Grand Prix." You don't have to say it in accent. You're broadcasting to the United States of America, so you can say Grand Prix,
You know what it is?
Grand Prix. And she butchered Azerbaijan. It was like
She's an American.
Ajabuja.
She's an American that's been listening to British people talk for the
So
last
she-
3 hours, and she keeps waiting to come in there. And then when she finally can,
Oh, it's a short circuit, you think?
she short circuits and wants to be British for just a second before she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm American." I don't
It
have to
shows how
pretend like I'm
dumb
British."
she is, though. 'Cause
Yeah,
she's-
that lady is annoying.
Yeah.
Whoever she is,
she-
is really
all
annoying.
she says is "Welcome back from the British Grand Prix."
You can
and you're
watch,
like, what?
You can continue its coverage will be on ESPN3, and
Yeah.
next week you can come back and watch the British Grand
Yeah.
Prix.
It's like two words. All of a
Like-
sudden, she turned Hockney, like you were saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like, what? Every time she does that, I'm like, I have to look and be like, she won't do it. She didn't do it this week because it was the U.S. Grand Prix.
I'm
so
gonna
she was
start
like,
picking out
"Alright."
little things like that from TV and just incorporating in my daily life. Like anytime
Grand
ask me
Prix.
paper or plastic. I grew up in a middle class family. Well, still the paper or plastic. Well, I'll tell you what I'd like, mate.
You want to know what I've been doing to beat people
Grand
down?
plastic.
This is what I've been doing to beat people down. I do it at work all the time.
Pull your dong out.
No, when someone goes, "What time is it?" I go, "This is our time from
Yeah.
9 to 5."
You're still doing that.
Oh, I've done it to you too.
You started it with me.
Yeah. No, I
It
didn't.
was on the way to some show or something. You're like, "This is our time."
From
This is
9
our
to 5. That fucking commercial drives me batshit crazy.
Did you ever see the one I was telling you about, the Fox News stories, where the guy goes, "You got to put your arm around the troops."
Yes.
The bald guy. Didn't he seem retarded, kind of?
I don't know what was going on.
You
with
got
him.
to put your arms around the troops.
But yeah, this is
The
our
veterans.
time.
He says the veteran.
This is our time.
There are.
9 to
We're in an
5.
annoying phase of commercials, and guess what we're looking at? Right after the stupid election's gone, it's time for freaking Christmas commercials. And it's going to be, we're headed for a good season of annoying Christmas commercials. If we're not taking a human nap.
Since we were just kind of talking about F1,
Like all of us.
I want to roll over there for a second because
Yeah, let's do it, because
there were two things
a
that were
good race.
completely fucking badass that happened before the race.
and after.
So before the race, well, even leading up to this week, Max Verstappen got his pee-pee slapped by the FIA for cussing.
You're about to go to the same thing I was going to bring. Man, that sounded like a hick. You're about to go to the same thing. No,
Put your arms around it.
you're talking about the end of race banter. How awesome it was between
Well-
him, Norris, and when Norris said shit, and then you could see Verstappen go,
Yeah. Well, that's not even like
and then
if you
Piastri started
watched-
messing with him.
if you watched any of the practice or any of the qualifying interviews, the ones that they do before the race, Max got his pee-pee slapped. The FIA came down on him, said they were going to fine him, and then they're going to make him do some type of community outreach service thing And he, in the very next sit-down interview he did, where there's 3 of them, and this was like Thursday of last week, he goes, I just think this is, kids learn how to cuss. They're trying to keep the cussing away, but we are adrenaline. We're men full of adrenaline driving cars at 200 miles an hour. We're going to cuss. It's just what happens. If kids are listening to the radio or the TV, kids are going to eventually cuss if you're trying to keep it away from them. The parents can try to keep them from cussing. So he's going off. He's like, plus, different. You've got a whole bunch of people that are different nationalities, and the way that cussing is, we've talked about this a lot. Like, fuck is no big deal in the English to the British, when they say fuck. But if you say bloody, all hell breaks loose.
And they can say cunt like it's going out of style. We say it here. You get asked to leave the premises.
You get asked, why are you saying that to my wife?
You get asked
and you're not even married.
You get asked to stay away 500 yards from any public school.
I haven't had that yet. But yeah, and it's just words, right? So the very next,
I hate that.
So after qualifying, I think it was after qualifying.
Why do you want to make someone that's driving that fast think about the language they're using on the radio? I hated it when NASCAR tried to do it.
So, and after qualifying, Max, they was sitting back down for the interview, and he goes, he's giving 1-word answers to everything, and everybody's like, well, what's the deal? And he goes, if you want my true opinions on what's going on, we can go outside, and I'll have full interviews outside. So after their little gangbang right there at the interview thing, they went outside, and all the reporters went outside and surrounded him in the paddock and were talking to him where he could talk freely.
That's why it was so funny when they won the race.
Hilarious.
That's why it was so funny when Norris came in after they announced, like, he did his interview and he came back to hang out with Verstappen, as how they're watching the race and stuff. Yeah, the cool down room.
Yeah.
That was some of the funniest TV I had ever seen, because I'm really getting fond of the McLaren team, both drivers.
Ooh,
I think
Jeremy's gonna hate you.
I think, Lando Norris is one of those dudes that's just funny. Like, no matter, like, he's always goofing off.
You hear that? When you wake up in the morning, text him your thoughts on Lando Norris.
Why does he hate Lando?
We had a whole conversation about this down in Austin.
Well, man, he looked good this race. Like, he was zoned in, and
he was 30 seconds ahead of everybody.
It wasn't even a I think Verstappen even said there was no way I was catching Norris this weekend. But anyway, the banter that was the funniest banter I've ever seen in F1. And we love that. We always talk about
the Max Verstappen podcast.
Well, not the Max Verstappen podcast, but the
cool down room.
The cool down room. Yeah. That's something cool.
That's where the podcast came from.
Yeah. That and they it was?
Yeah,
Verstappen's.
That's where it came from. That's where people
started
making fun.
That you should start doing,
because he was winning all the races, and it was like
his
he was having his own podcast every week.
Yeah,
and
he said podcasts are stupid. I don't really like them. Don't listen to them.
This week we have Hamilton in here, and Lando, and that's where that whole meme thing came from.
I like how Piastri was like, "So would you like to describe that without cussing?" And acts like he is holding the mic. And they're all just like, the look on Verstappen's face.
Love it.
The look on Verstappen's face when Norris said, almost shit myself off mic, and just goes, almost shit myself. All of a sudden, Verstappen just looks down like, oh.
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah. And the way they were freaking out about how Norris misjudged that turn, and like he locked up, it was almost the same exact. I think it might have been the same place as the track as Russell did the year before. He's like, oh,
and Max goes, you should have taken your foot off the brake.
Yeah, and that's when Norris was like, I nearly shit myself. Yeah. Like that. And then you just see Verstappen, like act like a bunch of kids.
It's hilarious, but
I guess they are kids.
That just cracked me up though, that he did that whole thing, that whole interview thing, just like, fuck you. It's like Lewis getting in trouble for wearing jewelry, and then the next interview he had all his watches on both arms.
Yeah.
He had like 15 watches on.
That's when they
all
made
his rings and
then
all
they made his gloves, his drive.
That's why he's got a watch on his gloves.
Well, I thought they did some when there was like 4 watches.
Yeah, but he walked into that interview just fully with every piece of jewelry.
Looked
he
like
owned.
It was 2 chains.
Yeah, crazy massive earrings.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up? I can't wear jewelry anymore, huh? And
Yeah.
then the same thing when
Dude,
they
he's
got
good
on
at that track too, man. Wouldn't you hate to be driving Singapore and seeing Lewis Hamilton creeping up on you
I wouldn't. You know, I had a coworker that was there all weekend.
at Singapore?
Uh-huh.
That lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't work on his crew anymore. In fact, he don't work for the company anymore.
Did he just
But I
go there
used to
for
work with
that,
him,
or was he?
and he was a good friend when he was working there before he went to the other crew, but he left the company. But no, he's been following Formula One around.
Oh, going to different tracks and stuff.
So every year he goes to one or two different tracks. Well, this one was Singapore.
I'd love to go to
and
Singapore.
He was sharing all his photos on Instagram. I was just like, "You son of a bitch!"
I mean, when the sun goes down and they
That
take
city
some,
is gorgeous.
it's so awesome. It looks like a space city.
All the stuff he was posting was absolutely gorgeous, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "That city's insane. That airport's insane. You got the building. You
What's
know,
insane
Have
about
you ever
the
seen
airport-
Crazy Rich Asians?
You've told me about it, but I've watched the
That movie and the stuff they do in that movie is insane.
What's
it's
so
all
cool
around
about
them.
the airport?
It's got that. Hold on.
Is it like the Dubai one, just all futuristic?
Yeah, and it's got that crazy, weird structure in the middle of it that has the water flowing through it. Kind of like they have at LaGuardia now, but on a way massive scale.
Yeah,
Um,
I would love. That's one of the races that like. If someone said you had to go to one F1 race, I would definitely consider
it's just
Singapore,
so nasty.
even though I'd end up at Silverstone probably.
I'd go there. I'd go just about anywhere.
I would too, honestly.
Where's he
And on
at?
the ones that the women weren't allowed, guys trip. Which that's like 3. Actually, they can go. You just got to stay at the track the whole weekend.
Where is he at? Fuck, I
Which
gotta
one?
remember my coworker what his account is.
Oh, he was posting the pictures though.
Yeah, I wanted you to see this. I guess I could just look it up this way.
Did you see the bad wreck that happened at Azerbaijan in F2 the week before?
Yes,
The one on the start where the
Yeah.
guy stalled out and they
stalled out.
plowed into him.
Two
Was that
cars.
kid okay?
I don't. It was all over the news, so I doubt anybody died.
I don't
know.
see how. Can you imagine getting rear-ended like that?
Like his car died, and just all shit broke loose. Cars disintegrated, hitting him, and I was like, "How are they already going that fast?" Like
Man.
they were only like the cars were like 3 cars behind him. So you're what?
Yeah, he was at the back, wasn't he?
He was midway in the
It was-
pack, and it was like the
So he had like
cars in
10
the back
cars
that
behind
hit
him, probably.
If even that many, he may have been further back.
I
than
thought he
that.
was. I thought he was further back.
This is the shit that's in the Singapore airport.
Oh yeah,
You've
yeah.
seen that picture.
That looks like the biodome,
I don't know. If
the where they did that experiment.
I can't show it. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. That thing. Anyway, yeah, he was posting pictures all over the place. I was just like, "Ew."
Real
And then
quick
he was at the race.
on the track. This is the second year they've made the change there. You still digging it?
Yeah.
I love it. It makes the track faster. The
Yeah.
extra DRS zone. I think it's I think it.
You don't have the tunnel anymore, though, or the weird
Oh, it going
where you
under
cut
the
through
bridge.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of
It's-
thrown off about that. I was like, that was kind of a cool thing.
They could probably still incorporate that. It would just have to. What did they do? They stayed out in the street instead of going behind it, and the cutover was where that bridge was. It was ran along the side of the hotel like that.
Went back up and around.
And
I
then
think
instead,
they
and
took
now
the
they took the
little
whole. Yeah,
jog
now it
out.
just goes from this end to that end.
Yeah.
Right. It's a great track. That's what's awesome about that track. One, it gets to 120,000 degrees while they're driving, and
What's funny
they're
is
so
seeing
dehydrated
all
and stuff
the-
after that.
when you they are dehydrated, but when they cut to the crowd, you'd see all these Asian men in wife beaters.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what a way to go see a race.
Yeah,
You're just
and it's
sitting
the
around
cleanest,
smoking.
one of the cleanest countries in the
Oh,
world right
Wait,
now.
Like if you pollute, you get your hands chopped off. Singapore's crazy with shit like that.
It
but
turns into
they're all
a
like
scene from Terror.
I just love them cutting to the crowd shots, and all these guys are like sitting back, smoking, drinking, and wife beaters, watching. Their
Also, all the
races. It's
Australians that were
awesome.
there. So, I mean, I know we're going to get into
Yeah.
Ricardo, but the Australia, because I had no idea that it's only a 5-hour flight
Kylie
from
Min-
Australia to Singapore.
Kylie Minogue waved the checkered flag.
Yeah.
She still looks good.
Darn good.
Yeah.
The other thing that's awesome though is you're fighting that. It's 150,000 degrees in your cockpit. I said cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it's such a technical track. You fuck up just a little bit,
That's a street course with no room.
no room. Like the
I like that
importance of
everybody
turning
says
zones
it's
now.
Asian Monaco. Because of the
Yeah.
overtaking.
I can see that. Azerbaijan is kind of like
How have we gone 6 races without a safety car?
I thought we had one, or was that was
Mm-mm.
during qualifying, wasn't it?
It's 6 races without a safety car, 6 races without anything hardcore happening. I don't like this. I understand.
It's been incident free for 6 races.
I know everybody's like, safety and blah, 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 and it's a good thing. And
You want to loosen up the brakes a little bit.
I want a little bit of chaos.
You want to clip some brake lines.
I want the craziest thing that I've.
It's
two
a
of 'em.
crazy race. I can't believe that's an intense race, man.
The 2 races that are the craziest in my mind, where shit has just happened, was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when Max and Hamilton were racing
They
for the championship.
Hopped up and the car
That
fell
one,
on his head.
that one is number 1, where they were hardcore. But it went on that Daniel Ricciardo won that race, and that was his last shoey ever.
Yeah.
Then the other one was where Max is just cruising along, and I think it was, shit, where was it? Fuck, I can't remember what it was, but he's just cruising along, minding his own business, la la, and it's only like 2 laps from winning the race, and then his tire blows and sends him right in the wall, and that's it. Like, it just,
Yeah.
we need shit like that
You
happening.
want to you want to take a little left turn on the sport, and something I had an epiphany on the other day. So I have not followed F1. I started following. Like, I knew about it, and I loved race cars and stuff, but it wasn't like I didn't realize how awesome it was until COVID. And that's when I started watching Drive to Survive. Then all of a sudden I couldn't miss a race.
Did you never watch it before that?
Also, I started playing. No, I didn't. I did not. I
Ever?
remember them talking about it on the ticket, but I never got around to it until there was more time than you knew what to deal with, which was COVID.
See, as a kid was Schumacher, so that's when I was watching it.
So,
and-
well, I knew Schumacher, and I knew like the story about
come on, ABC Wide World of Sports. on
yeah,
the-
yeah,
you'd
exactly.
watch the races and stuff.
But it wasn't I got it. I've gone into phases of NASCAR before. I've gone into phases of Indianapolis 500 before. I've gone into all kinds of race. I've gone to drag racing.
Did you
all,
have a
all
NASCAR
kinds of shit.
racer?
Me that I liked? Yeah, Junior.
I never did.
I thought Junior was cool as shit.
I hated them all.
What?
I didn't like NASCAR, and I didn't like. No one appealed.
You
to
didn't
me.
like Daryl Earnhardt Jr.?
No,
Not even the band.
I thought it's cool. He
What
had
about
his
Senior?
Own, he has his own Western town.
You don't remember Tony Stewart? Everybody hating him.
I hated Tony.
Remember the dude with the feather in the hat in the 80s? What's his face?
Petty?
Petty?
Richard Petty?
Richard Petty? You didn't like him?
I liked him better on the drag strip
Yeah. Well, yeah.
in the quarter mile.
Yeah.
He can do.
You didn't like Joe Gibbs when he was actually.
I did see Dale
Actually, he's still in.
Earnhardt Senior die because we had just got to Disney World, turned on the TV, and bam, he hit the wall.
I was hungover.
I was dead. But yeah, no one really appealed to me. Gordon didn't appeal to me.
Well, we're getting off topic of what I wanted to bring up.
Anyway,
So
I just wondered if you had a
I have not dealt with a death yet, and I know it's coming because if you like the sport,
in Formula
it's very
One.
in Formula One. It's
'Cause you've done
very
it.
romantic.
Yeah.
It's a romantic sport, and the difference between life and death is minuscule.
We
It could
almost
happen
did.
at any time. So that's the thing that I was talking to with Mandy the other day. I was like, I love watching F1. I obsess on F1. I like to know as much as I can. I listen, like I'm like you, man. When there's practice, I listen to what they're talking about. I try to apply it to my video game. That's another thing that got me into it heavily as I started playing the video game.
That's when I learned my braking skills.
Right.
Was in practice.
So-
listening and watching practice changed my braking style.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're sitting there talking about it. Okay.
yeah.
And then the tire thing, the appreciation for tires.
Yeah, and making your apex short, long, whatever.
Yeah.
There's totally you can learn so much just by watching the practices and their banter that they have up.
Commentators
The
have with-
commentators have.
Because most of the commentators are old drivers.
Right. But the one thing that has not happened since I started watching it is the death. And that might be a lot for me the more I think about it because I'm attached to these. I hated that Sargent didn't work out. But when all of a sudden there's this new kid there, I'm like, oh, man, I kind of wish Sargent could at least finish the season out. Just
Or hit something hard.
yeah, well, not that, but
Oh.
I could see where you would want that. But my point is this: I've never been into a sport this hardcore where someone will die eventually of these group of drivers. It's gonna happen.
So I have a question about this because we did almost get there because I was watching live when Grosjean in Bahrain hit the wall.
Yeah,
and blew up and was watching it live.
that was damn close.
What the fuck?
That was during the lockdown.
Yeah. And I remember tweeting and sending that out to everybody. It's like, this just happened. Holy shit. And then he climbs out and everything. You're like, oh my God.
Well, they would have. The odds are going to catch up with the sport eventually because it's just progression. It's what happens with auto racing, and we've been lucky. This has been the technology has really advanced, and I mean honestly, this is probably the safest time to be an F1 driver. I would imagine.
I would say next year when the cars change.
There'll be some,
and they get smaller again because now
what are they cutting the
cars are too big right now, and
they're too
everybody
long.
complains they're too long, and they're getting too long for these tracks to make the turns challenging and for there to be overtaking and everything. So the cars are getting smaller again, and it's a complete redo of everything.
You have to redo everything.
And is Audi come in next year, or is it in 2
I think
years?
Audi does 25.
I think it is.
And then Ford's coming in too, aren't they?
No.
You want to check your stats? Pretty sure Ford's aren't they working on the Audi car? Or is that just Ferrari?
Uh,
I'm confused about this Audi.
And I know what's his name didn't get Andretti was coming in with Chevrolet, and they told him fuck.
Oh, you're talking about when they're trying to get Cadillacs in, or the 6-cylinder?
They're just trying to get their team in.
Just period.
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought Ford was involved in one of the engines. Engine development.
I was trying to find there's an image that shows the car difference. I was going to show you, send it to you.
Oh, between
the 2024
the next
and the
season?
2025 car. That's been
strategic partner to Oracle's Red Bull Racing for 2026. That's what it was. Which I don't know what that means. What does that even mean? They're going to be like the drivetrain?
I don't know. They touch privates or something. I don't know.
Ford is
Help them
returning
give
to
it a
F1. The iconic American automaker and Red Bull powertrains are entering into a long-term strategic technical partnership for the development of next-gen hybrid power unit to be used from the 2026 Formula One season onward.
I'll believe it when I see it on the track because Porsche was also supposed to be providing a powertrain. And
it's a financial sport. You know the money talk, right? So who else is working with Audi's team? Because isn't that why that's who...
where are they? I can't find this image. Anyway, there is a big difference there in the car size. And these tracks a lot of these are old tracks that were designed with cars in the 80s that were super tiny. And early 90s. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Let's get to the sadness, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
This race.
I'll let you...
So the rumors started coming
Bring it up.
down in practice that this would be Daniel Ricciardo's last race. That they were going to go ahead and switch him out for the rest of the season with, what's that kid's name? Little punk kid. This crazy blonde
Lawson. Liam Lawson.
Yeah. They're going to change him out because it was time for Ricciardo's career to come to an end. He just wasn't cutting it for the Visa Cash App card, Red Bull, Running Bulls, whatever the fuck their name is. Red Bull's minor league team. He wasn't cutting it anymore. And it was pretty. If you know anything about the sport, the guy is he's a funny, likable, lovable dude that everybody loves. I don't know anybody that hates him. Do you?
No, not really.
Australian dude
Segura?
has fun. Why does he hate him? He's been on his show 1,000 times, and they hang out all the time.
And Tom asked him about pussy.
And what's it
Get
like
any
to
good
shit
puss?
in the car? You get any good puss in the car? But he's just one of the jokers, comical guys in Formula One. That's
Good for
just
the sport.
yeah, good for the sport. And it was just sad that he was coming to an end and everybody hated it. Well, the baller move that they decided to do was the final 2 laps. They brought Ricardo in
It was baller.
to change his tires out and have him run out on a brand new set of tires at the end of the race when the car is the lightest on fuel and there's the most rubber on the ground, so he could get the fastest lap in order for his buddy and best friend Verstappen to be, hopefully at the end of the season, this plays out the way they want it to. This could have saved Verstappen winning the world championship.
Oh, you can't see that. That's the difference.
I don't see anything but a message board. So, yeah, he went out, got the fastest lap, and it ultimately could have helped Verstappen at the end of the year. And it's going to be, if that plays out the way it says, that it comes down to 1 point, and it comes down to this one,
That'd be funny.
it'll be freaking hilarious. It'll be the greatest thing ever.
I'm so sick of the internet.
Do you know how to use it?
I used to, but now anytime you scroll or anything, all of a sudden you have another pop-up that just goes
I hate
bloop.
pop-ups.
But anyway, so look, that's about a good 2 feet or maybe a foot.
Yeah. It can get around the corners better.
Look at 2020's car
No,
size. That's the
one thing.
longest. That thing was freaking a boat.
Yeah. Long cars. Anyway, so
Maybe this one is.
then there was talk this week that came out on Monday that Daniel may not be done.
I don't think he is
We
because
may see him in Texas.
for what? The race?
The race. He may be in the car in Texas because Texas is his
One
second
of his
home.
places.
Yep. Is his second
I don't think
home
he's
and-
done though, but that's the thing. He'll probably sign as a practice driver or like a what do you call him, test driver, like he did before. Right now, I'm sure he's saying he's not going to do anything because he wants to keep all his options open. But look at freaking if he can be as good as Checo, then you might as well stick to it.
Oh, Checo's done after the end of this year.
That's what I'm saying. But how old is Checo? How old is Alonso?
Alonso's 43.
Exactly.
44.
So if he likes doing it and he wants to continue doing it,
But you got younger
even as
kids
a-
that are better.
even
Checo's
as a,
not Red Bull
what do you mean?
level anymore. He's not what he once was.
But I'm not talking about Checo. I'm talking about strictly with Australian boy
Daniel.
Daniel he's done this before. It said he's done to keep all his options up, and then next thing you know, Red Bull will sign him for
It's not
for
that
a
he's
test
saying
driver.
he's done. The teams are saying he's done.
I don't think that unless there's some stuff we don't know about, like that they don't like.
They don't like
Don't like
what
his
he's
attitude?
been. No, they don't like what he's been doing on the track this year. That's what came out at the beginning of the week last week. Why they were getting rid of him.
Yeah, he's been.
It's time to
he's
get
been
someone
dumped
in there that's
before.
got the edge.
I'm not talking. Okay, Dustin. I'm not talking about specifically. He's going to go to another team right off the bat, but I could see him taking a few, like a year, maybe 2 years off, and then coming back into the sport as a test driver. I could, because he's totally young enough to do that. You have Alonso, and and how old is Checo now? By the way, he's getting up there too.
He's
isn't
up there too. But the thing
he?
is,
It can be done, is what I'm saying.
the thing is, it's not just their age and how old they are. It's the competitive edge, and do they have the mentality to stay at the head of their pack?
Mm-hmm.
Checo doesn't have it anymore. He
No,
used
he
to be
doesn't.
hardcore. He doesn't have it anymore.
I
So
think
get
the
him
only one out
there.
of all three is his old what's his face, the
I-
one that's close to our age, Alonso.
Yeah, because
He
he's got
still
a
has
lot
a
of
competitive edge.
the I don't give a shit feeling to everything. Like
I
he
wonder
just
if-
rolls through everything.
I wonder if it's because of you start having more reality checks and some guys start losing that competitive edge because they get families and stuff. And like you got Lewis Hamilton that doesn't have any fun babies or nothing. Doesn't have any like he's always kept his women at bay. Which men, I suggest you do that always.
You start also
Thinking
your-
about the immortality of things.
No, your skull. Your what does it call it? Yeah, when you turn 25,
Start shrinking.
start shrinking. You start worrying about things. You start thinking about things.
Yep.
And the more wrecks you're in, the more it changes you. That's what's
Yeah,
happening to
true, for
Daniel.
Sure.
Checo is 34. And he's got like 37 kids.
He seems like the type that would.
He
His
just,
family was rich already too.
I honestly think he just had his 7th kid at the beginning of the season, or before at the end of last season. Before
Hey,
this
man,
season started, something like
we
that.
need to do that as Americans. We need to start repopulating.
But also, Red Bull is cutthroat.
Oh yeah.
They don't keep any. They dumped Vettel when he was
The
still
only
being
thing,
a badass. They
yeah,
dumped-
that's the other part of what I was saying about Ricardo is he was already on the sister team, so the people that seem to keep bringing him back are the ones that are gonna pass this time. So
Bring him to Indy. Bring him to Indy. Bring him to Indy.
bring him to NASCAR. Bring him to NASCAR.
No, that's boring.
Who do you think would win in a race between in NASCAR or F1 car between Danica and him?
He would.
Think
If-
he'd just light it up
Mm-hmm.
no matter what car,
Mm-hmm.
even in the NASCAR,
Mhm.
even in the Indy car,
Mhm.
and well, obviously in the F1 car he'd dominate.
She didn't really race Formula One.
No, she's never raced Formula One. Did she ever even go to an
She
academy?
tries to use that as her status, but she never
She was an Indy
got
driver.
there. She was like Formula 3 or something like that.
She was an Indy driver.
She was an Indy driver, but she was also
And she didn't do great at that, right? Like she won one race, was it?
her achievements.
Did she ever win a NASCAR race?
Let's see. Highest finish by a woman in the Indianapolis 500 because she was in. Never mind. In 25th place. Did she ever win one? She's no win in NASCAR.
Mwap, mwap,
7 top 10s.
mwah.
One
How are you going to
pole.
try to think that you had what it take to drive an F1, which I've never heard her say, but if she has said that, how do you expect to drive an F1 if you can't even win a stupid-ass NASCAR event?
Have you not seen her when she does the commentary? Like next week, she'll do the commentary.
I think her commentary is pretty
Or in
decent.
2 weeks. But she'll be like, well, when I was in one of these cars, or when I used to race one of these cars, and you're like, bitch, you never raced one of these cars.
She hasn't even raced a decommissioned one. Well, I guess not an official race.
Yeah,
It'd
you're
be
not
for like
on-
advertisement or something, marketing.
In IndyCar, she only had 1 win, 7 podiums.
That's what I'm
3
saying.
poles.
You're right. There's no chance that she beats Ricardo in
There's no
NASCAR
way.
or Indy.
There's no way.
Anyway, that was just my little rant that I don't know how I'm going to react to that because I might stop watching. Even Stroll, if he was to die in a crash or something, I'd be like, fuck. I like that. I don't like him, but at least I don't want him to die.
Okay, you want my flip flop of this?
What? Eventually there's going to be a driver
No,
I want
because
to die?
No, I've talked about this or I haven't talked about this, but I've thought about this for months. This is the reason I watch it live every week.
To see a death.
No, in case
Just kidding.
something happens, because the Grosjean thing, they edited it out.
Oh, that wasn't. And you had to find out about it after the race because they didn't know
or
if he
they
had passed
turned all
away.
the cameras away or whatever. Well, until he was safe and they got him in the car and he yelled. His
I don't
hand up
agree
over
with
the-
that. I think you need to let your fan feel the hurt, just like the
But-
drivers and stuff and the teams.
In the past, races where a driver has died, they're not available, or you can't watch them, or the stream's gone, or whatever.
They just rip all the stream down.
It's happened.
Remember was it the F2, the lady that was racing F2 or F3 that went
That
shooting
flew
into
through
the
the sky.
stands?
Yeah.
What track was that?
Azerbaijan or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something weird. It was
Something
tight
in
like
the middle of the city and real tight.
that. Her throttle got stuck and she flew over a car and just went.
I remember when that
Into the
happened. I was
side of
like,
a
that person
building?
and some other people are dead. When I first saw that,
But she was all right. Everybody was all right.
could you imagine seeing an F1 car coming through the air right at you?
Well, didn't you watch that movie that's based on
Better
the true
yet.
story? The Gran Turismo movie?
Mhm.
You know, that wreck was real. That's exactly how that happened.
It didn't roll 37 times, though, did it?
It rolled quite a bit, but it did kill like 3 or 4 spectators and everything, and it fucked that dude up.
Yeah.
That driver, his mental state. See, that's another thing. You get in a wreck where you hurt someone, that fucks you up too, and you're not the same driver.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Maverick with Goose. When Goose died,
It's a lot like
it
Maverick.
fucked with Maverick.
Sorry, Mandy.
Mandy, there's this movie called Top Gun.
You got to check it out. It's
You
got an
gotta go.
actor,
It's got a guy named
Thomas Cruise.
something I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to
Good
see,
F1 segment,
It
man.
was. We need to. We'll have
We need to
more.
branch off, travel the world, and just be the
We
official
do.
podcast of F1 for
Well, they have
Americans.
like 18 of them now, and all the celebrities have their own.
Yeah, like
And it's
Dream,
aggravating.
Mr. McDreamy from
No,
whatever
Dax
ER or
Shepard.
whatever. Dax. Oh, he has one now.
He has his own Formula One.
I figured when he
podcast,
did
and
that stunt last year.
What's his name? That's with
But let's face it,
what's her?
who would beat us out though? Who would beat us off? Who would beat us out?
Exactly. You get our drivers in here, we'll have a good time with them.
Hey, Amazon,
Whatever he's-
if you want to sign Dustin and I to do some simulcasting and doing
Did
some
you watch
streaming.
the final? Did you watch the final Grand Tour?
Oh no, I've not. I've not started it.
It's fantastic.
I've had a rough week, by the way. I haven't really gone into some stuff that's been going on, but I've had some stuff that's going on.
It's over 2 hours long.
I want to watch it. Did you
It's
cry?
fantastic.
You did. You fag. You're
Wow, what? The boys, the way they end it is awesome.
You cried.
I actually didn't.
Oh, you not fag. You
Well,
non-cigarette.
You can't use that word.
I called you a cigarette.
Oh, okay. It's great though. It's good, and the way they did it, I was like, the way it ended
Where's it at?
was spot on. It's in Zimbabwe. Is that where they did it?
Okay.
Where they started, but they went. It ends. They're going through.
Is it just as cool as the last one? Because I love the last season or show. That train one was cool.
So, hold on.
Doing fact checking on the fly. Fact checking on the
Where-
fly.
I'm trying to think of how I can tell you this without. Did you ever see their? How many of these road trips have you seen? Even back,
I've seen all of GT.
but have you
Not.
watched?
I've
back
never. I haven't
to-
seen all. I've seen all of Top Gear, but it was back when they had just moved. So I have no idea. If
So
you're
they-
going to bring up a classic when it was Top Gear, I'm probably not going to know it.
The show ends where they did their first one ever.
Right.
They go through Zimbabwe and they're like, well, we're going to end this. We're only
The first Top Gear or the GT?
the first Top Gear one.
Okay.
And they're like, we're only 50 miles from where we first ever did one, so why don't we go to it? And a few
Yeah.
things happen, and they do a bunch of stuff, which I won't give it away, but I want to go to Zimbabwe now because it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And to drive like they did across it, it's gorgeous. I would have,
What they do, like a rally style
no, they were just basically cruising. and
on the
having
road,
fun,
on
yeah.
actual road. So
And they do they do everything but fly. They mix everything into this. There's boat action.
people
There's
have asked
train
what
action.
this is. That always I'm making sure they see it's Obama.
Obama. They do boat action. They do train action. They do car action. It's great.
Water sports.
No water sports, but it was
You mentioned
it's
that
fantastic.
last. I think it was the last show we talked about this, which was in here last week. I don't know if y'all know this in the chat room. We didn't come to the studio last week.
Yeah.
Anybody know that?
So
Anybody
do I.
notice that? So
The
you
Amaz-
mentioned that they had some terrible. There was some health stuff too that had taken its toll on them. Did they show any B-roll footage or anything of the accidents that you were talking about where they got really fucked up, like kind of
Like
a
in the
reminiscing?
past?
Yeah,
No.
in the past.
Uh-uh.
Because that's what I was hoping for. I want to see some of that stuff.
There was some.
I want to see them die.
If you've watched the Grand Tour and when they stopped doing the actual show in the tent, which was about season 2 or season 3, there was stuff like that. This was done proper. This was done right. If you're an ultra fan of it, it works. If you grew up with Top Gear, it all worked out. It was pretty perfect. But then Amazon decided to go, we're coming back.
With the new
With
people or
New people.
Did they leave any hint on who it might be?
No. They did not. So we'll see.
You speculate
if
in
they
any?
do it. I mean, if they decide to bring in Chris Harris, that'd be cool. I like Chris Harris. He's the one who took over Top Gear after Clarkson left, and he got shit on pretty hardcore after the trying to take Jeremy Clarkson's place, and a lot of people wrote in just hating on him, but he's a good dude, and if you've ever watched any of his
What is
car stuff, he's
Shamazon?
awesome.
What the hell is Shamazon?
Shamazon.
Is that like just a ShamWow commercial over and over? Like all you can buy from this Amazon is
ShamWows?
ShamWows?
That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you know Christina
Justin
Aguilera
Ross
had a twin
and
sister
Deadwood
this
Revival?
whole time?
No, was she still like the old Christina?
No, look, it's a 2-for-1 package,
That's what I like to hear. How is she looking these days anyway?
like a genie in a bottle.
Is she really?
Come and let me out. I didn't know she had a twin sister till today.
I'm going to pull this up.
They're about to do a song together. Or
Christina
release a song.
Aguilera?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I want to see if she's held up.
You know you would anyway.
Man,
be a
she
dum-dum.
had the look for a while that drove Papa's pants wild.
When she was ex-Dina.
Remember when she tried to take it up a notch? She saw what Britney did, and she's like, "Oh, you're not gonna out-whore me. Watch this." And then she came in, like
Yeah.
hardcore.
When they were
whoa,
when the horror wars were happening,
it was crazy pants time.
when the horror wars
Horror
were going
wars.
on, that was amazing.
The horror wars. Instead
And I
of
don't
Star
feel bad
Wars,
talking about her because she's only 4 years younger than me.
how many horror wars trilogies are there?
I don't know. We need
Are there
more.
are there 3?
Star Wars.
Star Wars? What is that? Something out at the ranch or hockey? What are we talking about here?
I don't.
We talking about fun?
We're talking
Sports?
about fun. Her sister's been kind of secret.
Oh man, she does not look like Christina Aguilera anymore.
What does she look like?
Look at her face now, man. She's had some work.
Does she look like she got stung by bees?
She looks like Gwen.
Whoa, she looks like an alien.
She kind of does.
Like what was that movie in? The chick you almost banged?
Natasha Henstridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks like her.
Good gosh, man. Ladies, don't do that. I'm so sick of that. I'm so sick of these ladies that we do in the 90s looking like aliens and robots. What's going on? Just leave your... Aging is beautiful, ladies. Just let the natural process happen. Don't do this crazy... Like, what was it last week when I was griping about being in Alabama and seeing all these really pretty older women that like past their 50s and stuff that had been on the beach and stuff and were really pretty, just natural ladies. But then they had these 21-year-old knockers just put on like
Not a
2 weeks
problem.
ago. I don't know, man. I'd rather just the lady natural
You
instead of
used
looking
to have
freaky.
a Sagger policy.
What? No. Don't get me wrong. I don't like. I'm not a Sagger guy. I'm not a fan of the Saggers. But you don't have to get boobs up. When you go to get a boob job and you're 60 years old, you don't have to request. Just go for the happy medium. Get 35-year-old boobies. Don't get 21 where they're standing straight up. You can.
I'm with you.
If you shoot a 9mm bullet, it just bounces off the nip because it's so.
I'm with it. And they don't need to be rock hard like
No.
you're from the Eastern Bloc.
It looks stupid. And these people that are getting butt injections.
Well, that's
Good
funny.
gosh almighty, man.
Have you seen the hip injections now?
The Ozempic is causing all that to, because you lose your ass when you take Ozempic, apparently. It's one of the side effects.
Probably because you shit everything out of it.
It's probably because there's a lot of muscle atrophy involved when you take Ozempic. Do you know anybody that's used that shit yet?
Yeah.
Have they had any of the side effects?
Mm-mm.
So
They've lost
that's
weight,
that's what
but
I
they
was
haven't had
wondring.
any.
You know how everything gets like if you listen to
Blown
the
up?
radio,
Yeah.
you would think fentanyl kills you the first time you ever try it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I
it
mean,
does, like it is very dangerous, but still, there's a lot of people there's a lot of people that have used fentanyl for pain
37
and stuff.
times.
What?
And I'm still here.
Oh, you've taken fentanyl 37 times and you're still here.
Yeah, that's how I
Are
go
you
to
going to
sleep
keep
at
track
night
until
now.
you do die?
Then I'll tell you. I'm dead.
Well, my sister's not.
Fentanyl killed me. Oh. You're right.
Back to what I was saying, ladies, just don't if you want to get something done because of your confidence and stuff, and you think it makes you more go get them, like competitive or whatever for your self esteem and all that. That's fine. Just don't watch ask your doctor specifically. Hey, are these boobs 21-year-old boobs, or are these 35-year-old boobs? Because I'd like to go with the 35-year-old because I'm 50.
Did I send you the picture that now in Brazil they have a 6,000
Watch out.
cc implant
Oh my gosh,
Per.
I'm not into that.
per one, and it's a guy holding them, and he's like, "Brr." Just the implant sitting on a table,
Oh god,
and it's like, why 6,000 cc each? It's
imagine if that
insane.
thing got infected and a lot of pus and stuff grew, swelled up inside that thing and it busted, and you just had how many cc's
6,000
of
cc.
pus just shooting all over the place?
I was like, I thought I sent that picture to you and Jeremy. We're like, check out
You
the fun
did.
bags on
You
these.
did.
The 6,000 cc. That's insane.
You like big boobies though.
Not that big. I like.
Man, I bet your booby scale, like what you like as far as boobs go, is way higher than what I like. I like perky ones, no matter the size. Small's just as fine as big. But
I do have
you
a
tend to
very-
like it's got to be double D's or you're not messing with
That's
it.
it.
You're like, I don't
Get out.
like
Get
to.
fuck out. I'll shoot you in the back again.
If there's no motorboating before you shoot her,
If there's nothing I can rest my head on,
if I can't park my ATV in between them, I'm out. Get the fuck out. I miss the days when we just spaz out. It was our drinking days on the air. Remember when we just drink and something
And
would
it
settle
spaz out?
wrong and someone wouldn't hear something? Shut up! You want to fucking go?
I did send that to y'all, right? I was
Yeah,
trying
I
to find the
think you
picture
did.
just to show everybody. Golly, we send each other a lot of stuff.
Oh, I got to show you something off mic, by the way. I went on a road trip on Saturday.
Should we talk about the lady? This story,
Yeah,
real
I
quick.
was wondering.
Do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the most shocking thing I've read. I was going to go into a whole drink dilemma, but I'll save that for next week because I need to
Drink
do some
dilemma.
more research. But there's a crazy story that popped up about a former Miss Switzerland finalist that was strangled by her husband and killed.
Great story.
She was 38 years old. In 2007, she was in this Swiss beauty pageant. Her husband strangled her. No real reason given in any of the articles I
Just
can
got sick,
find.
trying to turn her in.
Just like, Maybe she went on Ozempic and the double D's went away.
Get out! Get out now! Now!
But he strangled her. She died. He then took her body apart and pureed it in a blender. First off,
What kind of
blender is this?
protein shake calls for that ingredient?
And what's the output? Like, how much?
Is this the new Advocare athletic mixture that they're using now? Is blended women?
Are they
That
using the vitamin thing?
Yeah.
But what is the output on this?
I don't know.
Is it the same amount as mass as
The way
she
I
was?
read it, the way I read it is it was all turned to puree, and that's probably a mass kind of like clumpy soup.
Yeah.
But you could make that pretty much as fine as you want if you got the time.
He told police he found her dead, panicked, and decided to dismember her and puree her.
You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and give advice
That's
here.
not how you do it. If you find someone, if you panic, just call the cops.
Just
You
call
don't
the cops,
just
man.
start
You
taking
don't
her
wing
apart.
it.
Yeah, I don't know. Even if you're in Switzerland, I don't know what their country rules are, but I don't think it involves if you find a dead one, throw them in
You
a
said
blender.
that very weird. Like country people put their wives in blenders.
People from other countries. I
Okay,
don't know
yeah,
if that's
that's
a
what I
thing.
thought you meant.
If foreign, international. I know we have international people that like to eat cats and dogs,
I got to show you something just for shock value. Continue.
but I don't think
Down
you
this.
should take your loved one and throw them in a blender.
So
I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it. He went to jail. He's been arrested. He
right to jail.
spend time in jail. He's going to jail.
Straight to jail. Right to jail.
But
Chicken too cold.
if I was to give
Right
any
to jail.
life advice, it would be what you just said. Don't puree any of your loved ones.
Especially the ones you kill.
Like, if you've learned anything from Breaking Bad, wouldn't you just put them in a barrel of
vat?
acid?
I mean, that's what the cartels do. You know what else? A crab trap works fine in the Gulf of Mexico.
There's a lot of
There's
novels, horror novels or thriller novels that involve crab traps.
Yeah. Pig
Yeah.
farm.
Pig farm.
There's a lot of pig farms in
The
East
Irish.
Texas.
The Irish are big on that, and so are the English.
So the East Texans.
I've watched Snatch. And the Gypsies,
yeah.
they're big on it.
The pig farms?
Did you finish Peaky Blinders yet?
No. I've taken a break because it was getting taking over my work day. I'm like you now. I can watch things while I do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I noticed that with Peaky Blinders, I was starting to do less work and more watching. So, real quick, while we're on the subject of and crazy people putting their wives in a blender, I went on a road trip today, or not today, over the weekend, and this is what we came upon.
It's a swimming pool with a trailer.
Some windows, man.
Oh, yeah. Some big old... For curtains, you have Dixie flags.
I have not
Stars and
seen.
bars.
You know how many times that you and I have said, "Man, it's been forever since I've seen a Confederate flag, even at NASCAR and stuff." Boy, you take a drive to East Texas, you'll see one in about 20 minutes.
Or West Texas or the Hill Country or down by Hyco. I've seen quite a bit here lately all of a sudden.
That's scary,
Popping up.
man. That's scary because that's backlash,
It's
and it's stuff that we've talked about. That was gonna. I don't want to turn this show into a negative show, but we've talked about that.
I
You
think
go
it
too
was
far
just
left.
negative. We just talked about someone being blended.
Yeah, it depends on how you see it.
Oh.
I mean, what if
That's a positive
she was a
thing?
bitch?
Hmm.
What if she had a loud mouth? What if she ate mushrooms and laughed so loud that the whole state park left? Susie?
You're going to get your ass kicked.
Susie, I would never put you in a blender.
You are going to get killed, and that is not appreciated.
She's going to put me in a blender.
She's going to put your dick
Wasn't there
in
a song called Hard in a Blender?
Gonna take a blender. She's going to put your dick in a blender.
No. Well, might as well. I don't need it anymore. It's pointless.
I can't find this picture. I can't find anything tonight. Can't find the Kamala thing. Can't find the.
I couldn't find the song that they're doing together, Christina and her sister, but I'm looking at old pictures of them together, and
Because I'm in the wrong account, dumbass. Man. Jesus.
look how hot Pink was back in the day
Who
before
has,
she was munching
and now she has connections to Diddy.
because of Bieber, right? Like, aren't they saying that she was the one that, like, was acting like she was a... I gotta watch it because I don't know who can sue and what's true or anything.
I don't
We're
know
to the
either.
point now where we could be sued if we say the wrong thing on this show.
I don't know.
We need to start doing the disclaimer at the beginning of the show where it's like, these are strictly opinions of the Jerry Jonestown Massacre podcast show, Matt and Dustin, and
Can be held
cannot be
reliable.
held against us at all.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know.
You don't have all the answers.
I don't have all the answers.
Well, what else did you want to talk about today? Because it's 10:03. We're running late already.
No, I think I'm done because I wanted to talk about.
Well, it's been fun. 10 years.
It's been fun. I'm done. I was gonna do. I want to talk about all these drink spots that are opening up.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We got one more topic. We'll end on a positive note because
Or do
drink
you wanna-
spots are good.
Or do you want to make fun of Hollywood that are now ditching all their Teslas because all the celebrities hate Elon Musk? So they want to
Oh,
go back
gosh.
to gas guzzlers and get rid of all their Teslas.
Take away these people's money.
I did ask someone the other day. I won't say who they are, but I had to ask them. I was like, because they were just
Was
going
it a
off
Tesla
on-
driver?
They were hold on. Because I was like, they were going off on Elon Musk and how radical he's become and how he supports
he's
the
a-
right and
What?
blah blah blah.
Because he
blah.
allows free speech?
Yeah. And that
So radical
he's
of
doing
him.
so much crazy stuff that, you know, they hate Elon Musk now, and I just went, but you drive a Tesla
And did you
And
drop
you-
the neat then?
and you have a Starlink.
Both true?
Both true.
So did you
Because
just
they
go-
were both. He talks
You
about them
should
all
have
the
just
time.
said neat and walk off.
I did. I said so. Huh? Conflicted are you?
Conflicted,
And the
you
guy,
must.
he just shut up. He was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's a little pep squeak anyway, a little twerp. I'd put him in a blender.
Hard in a blender.
Gonna put your tender hard in
In
a
a blender.
blender.
Put your fucking Tesla hard in the blender. Material girl. What was it? Not material girl. Something, hard in the blender.
Something. Till I'm through with
Hit me, girl.
you.
Something girl, right?
So these drink stops. Are you a fan of these drink places?
Are you talking about these little daiquiri shops that show up in every, like,
So those are the third tier.
oh,
Those are down there. These mom
That's
and
not
pop
top
drink
shelf?
stop. I'm talking about the top shelf places. Of course, we've had Starbucks forever. That is a drink place for coffee. You know, they've been around
Yes.
forever. And then you have the third tier of all these little pop up coffee shops that come up.
I don't consider Dutch Brothers third tier, though. If that's what you're getting at.
Dutch Brothers
It's
is first tier.
It is first tier, yes.
Okay, the first tier. I would put both those.
What
as
about Dunkin'?
First tier. Dunkin'. They're weird because Dunkin' is more known for their donuts, their coffee,
Well,
but then
when
they
we
are
were
a coffee
young.
stop. I'd put them second tier.
Okay.
I'd put them second tier. But you've got moving in now. You've got HTO, which I
The
love.
T1.
The T1, which I'd put them second tier. They're not first tier yet because they haven't taken over the country. They've done a big job. I mean, because it started in Lubbock, I think. So it's
It is
taken over
Texas-based.
Texas. It is Texas based.
Regionally, they got some foot ground.
Yeah. And now the new one, which I experienced just the other day, because there's one on Precinct Line Road, is Swig. You been to Swig?
I've not been to Swig. I haven't even been to H2O yet.
Yeah, H2O is amazing.
Yeah,
H2O is great. You
I had
walk
some-
in there.
I went
don't
to an
go through the
event.
drive-thru. Don't go through the drive-thru.
Well, I got some from an event that was a full-on gallon
Gallon?
jug, and I loved it. It
It's
was
great.
It was coconut something.
If you go, don't go through the drive-thru till you know it. Go in
Check it all, the scene out.
because you get to make your own
There's
tea.
one
you can
catty corner
suicide
to my
stuff and
house now.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess it's time for me to go over there.
But you can go in and suicide stuff. You
Will
know,
they let you do
feel
that?
around. Yeah, you get little tasters. You can taste which teas you want. My favorite is you take a little bit of the Texas chai, and you put it in the bottom of your glass, and then you fill the rest with the Georgia peach.
What's the difference between Texas chai and regular chai? Is there something?
I don't know, but this tastes like liquid peach cobbler. It's so fucking good. Oh my god, it makes me feel so good. Yes.
Is that your go-to every time?
Oh yeah, there. Yeah. I
Do-
love
have
it.
you
Or I'll just
experimented
do
with-
Texas Sweet? I'll go. Yeah, I've experimented with a bunch of stuff.
What's your top 3?
Texas Sweet or the Georgia peach by itself is
Yeah.
amazing. They have a
Tom Arnold
that basically, yeah, you
With-
can make one with a
lemonade.
an off lemonade. That's really, really good. Their lemonade straight up is really good. They have a Texas Sun is what they call it, and you can get it sweet or unsweet, and it's really good.
Is that like orange juice, like a tequila sunrise without the tequila?
No, it's more of a like an orangier.
Do they
taste
have a
of
sex on the beach?
It's not like mixed drinks like that.
I was hoping you were
it's
going
all
to bust
teas.
into song, but
No. So Swig,
Swig's the new place.
they've got one on Precinct Line. They've got one on 377 that are close to us. I don't know about Arlington just yet, but Swig, these are the ones I've gone to at work. It's take your own soda. Take what soda you want. Most of their stuff in their menu is Dr. Pepper based at the beginning. Then you get some Coke and Mountain Dew based. And you can basically put anything you fucking want in it.
I can do that at Wendy's in their dispenser. You can put all kinds of syrups.
This isn't syrups. I'm talking pineapples.
What?
I'm talking cinnamon sticks, cream.
Puree of a wife.
If you want to. Yesterday I had a cherry vanilla cream Dr. Pepper with a cinnamon stick in it.
Oh man, we singing Cinnamon Girl the whole time you're drinking
Fucking
it.
fantastic. It had me going
That does
all
sound
day.
good.
It was
Can you
great.
get extra shots of caffeine, like you can when you go to Smoothie King?
I don't know if you can do that. See, that's another one. Smoothie King's one of them. It's a smoothie side.
Mhm.
You know, it'd probably be top tier. Swig, I'd put second tier right now because it's not gigantic.
Yeah.
But your big boys, you know,
Is there just one?
do
right
you
now?
go to? No, there's several Swigs around.
I wonder if there's one in Arlington. I'll have to check it
Yeah, I
out.
don't know yet. That's what I said a few minutes ago. Was I know there's one on Precinct. I know there's one on 377, and I know there's one up in Grapevine, but I don't know if they've infiltrated Arlington yet. Also,
Swig, SWIG.
yeah, and I
Swig
think
menu.
there you go. Go look at their menu.
I'm gonna do locations first. I'll have to check it out, man. You know what the big craze is with my daughters right now?
What's that?
Bopa.
The
Boba
balls?
tea.
The boba. Is there a difference between boba and bopa?
But maybe it's Bopa. It's a
Boba's the little balls you put in there.
Oh.
The little that have flavor that explode in your mouth.
It's a tea.
Boba
I don't
tea.
know about flavors blowing up in their mouth.
Yeah,
and I
it's
would hope
boba.
that never happens.
And there's a
to
bunch
my-
of little boba tea places that are popping up here and there.
Young sacred daughters, sir.
I would put them in third tier.
My daughters?
No, boba tea.
Get out!
Where's the location?
All right, let me see. Locations. I'll get that information to you since we have to do our own producing. What states are Swig in? Oh, so they are a little bit more. Utah
gotten
is
around.
where they were founded.
So we have 4 right now.
59 locations.
Oh, there's one right there.
Utah, Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. So that's all I need is Arkansas and Texas. We're good. I'm going to try them out. Let's look at DFW locations.
I don't know what the difference is between a red swig and a blue swig. Oh, the blue swigs aren't open yet.
They're playing the whole Democrat Republican, huh?
Yeah.
Just right off the bat.
The blue ones aren't open yet. But in Fort Worth, all we have is there's one in Saginaw or Blue Mound area. There's one in Keller. There's one in Hearst. And then there's one down in Burleson.
So no Arlington yet?
No Arlington yet. They're probably waiting on Jerry Jones to let them have some land or some shit. We'll just go along with that.
So he kicks me out of my house,
It's like,
takes over the next part of Arlington.
they put that one right there on Blue Mound Road?
That's a mess now.
Blue Mountain Road.
Yeah, I mean it's always been meh, but now every time I go there, I'm like, why did I exit Blue Mountain Road?
Everything around that whole area is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Saginaw's blowing up.
well,
Blue Mountain's
they
blowing
should
up.
seek
They're
shelter.
stupid.
They really are.
There's too many people in that area.
They put
They've
that
crammed
bridge. They
too
put that
many
quick
people
bridge
in.
over the railroad, and now it's just caused chaos because it's brought too much traffic.
Yeah, that quick bridge is really weird.
I know.
That's
I bet you there's been a few
strange
head-on
thing.
collisions caused from that thing.
And it makes me nervous. Like as you're cruising down Bailey Boswell, and you're like, "Oh shit, I can take the
Yeah.
quick bridge and not go across." And you zoom across, and you go up. It's weird. That's a weird thing. Just to
like
bounce over an intersection.
Yeah.
That's something you see in a big city, not in
Why are-
Saginaw.
Another thing, why is it up in North Tarrant County that they're so in love with the chicanes? Like the circles. I call them chicanes because
The
I
roundabout?
run them like that. The roundabouts, yeah. It's like every new developer's putting in these roundabouts. Do they just not believe anymore in the
Same thing.
the stop sign, the four-way stop sign?
When's the last time
It's just
you've been
causing
through
too much confusion.
Colleyville?
Oh yeah.
Like down Glade or whatever, they took out all the lights
Put
and
in-
stop
put in
signs
the-
and just put in roundabouts.
And I freaking when I'm in my car, heck yeah, dude. It's my F1 course.
I love watching people that don't understand them.
Well, you're not supposed to hit the apexes and blast through them like we do.
No, the people that come to a complete stop and look around are like, "What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
How
That's
am I-
causing
you
a
have
lot.
the right of way. Go, dipshit."
Shit dip.
Anyway, this drink thing's really interesting. This is, we were talking about this at work a couple of weeks ago about how individual drink places are just blowing up. And it's like everybody, that's the new thing, is just have a fancy place to go make fancy drinks.
All right, you want to hear some facts real quick? Some swig fact?
Okay.
The concept grew out of Utah. The question is from Bob.
Are they fucking Mormons?
A question in the chat room is swig a Mormon thing?
Out!
Well, hold on. The concept grew out of Utah, which has birthed a slew of dirty soda chains. It's called a dirty soda.
Oh, dirty sodas. Okay, that's what they call them.
Bolstered by its large Mormon church population. The Salt Lake City headquartered Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints prohibits drinking hot caffeinated beverages such as coffee and tea. So sodas are a way to get their caffeine fixes. So that's really weird about Mormons too.
You can't have hot drinks?
You can't. So what about hot Pepsi?
What about a hot beer? You go over to
Well, I think it's caffeinated hot caffeinated
Oh.
drinks. But still, what was they just?
I don't
Joseph
wanna-
Smith was like, you know what?
these silver tablets that I've got, or this silver plate, gold plate says I can't drink hot caffeinated soda.
Yeah, no, you can have soda that's caffeinated,
But I
but you
can't,
can't
have
it
it hot. Yeah,
well, I
that's
don't
what this is.
know. It's just saying that they don't do the hot tea or
Susie?
the coffee. Do we have any? Is Susie a Mormon? Susie, we have a Joseph Smith question.
HTO. Another one you need to get, the sweet almond.
She says So Delicious is good too.
So Delicious is out west, right? Out on the west coast.
I can look it up too.
Sweet almond at HTO.
Who's Sweet Almond?
That's one of the teas. It's an
Oh,
almond
get
tea.
that one?
Oh my god! If
Yeah.
you like almond, if you like it tasting like amaretto tea, yeah.
Can you milk an almond?
I think you can. I've been told they have little teats. They have a secret menu. What's on their secret menu? Wedding cake, cotton candy, the cowboy, apple pie. There it is.
Man, I bet you there's a lot of red dye and all that stuff, and that makes my brain go crazy. Yours too, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, but this isn't. This is the teas. You're just mixing flavors of teas.
I'm sure there's red dye in it somewhere.
Probably. Maybe in
We're
the
all addicted to red dye.
blueberry.
All of
raspberry.
Gen X.
So here's how I know. I found this out like this. Okay, Susie said go for it.
Which one?
I guess your question.
Let's-
And that
Oh,
so
putting her in a
delicious
blender?
is Utah. Not in a. God damn it! Not back in a blender. Talking about Joseph W. Smith, the wrestler. The caffeine thing, is that true? You can't have hot caffeine. Means you
Yeah.
can't have hot tea.
Yeah, you can't have hot tea or
You
coffee.
can't have coffee. Is that true? Mormons
Well,
can't do that?
the question I want to know is, can they have hot Pepsi?
Who would want a hot Pepsi?
I don't know.
That was our question. Our word of wisdom question.
What's the word of wisdom question?
What we just said. Where are you?
I don't know. I'm thinking about hot Pepsi
So here's how I know Trump's not going to win the election. I'm going to go back to
because he's
this
probably not going to be.
because it hit me last night because I was listening to No Agenda driving
I
home
haven't, I
last
haven't
night.
listened to it yet, so I
And
started it. But
They were playing clips of RFK and him saying at one of his town halls or whatever, saying that if Trump gets elected on the first day when they're in office, they're going to ban all these bad ingredients that are in foods, all these chemicals, all these toxins, all these shit that is in our processed food. They're immediately going to ban them. You just lost the election.
I tend to think you're right because think about the clusterfuck that the Democrats caused when they said that they were going to ban all parties. Both of the two-party system has a short-term memory problem because they forget that both of them have tried this every single time. You know what? Ban on this as soon as I get in office. And then next thing you know, the food processors, the food industry, the FDA, all of a sudden starts coming knocking saying, I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
you're
the
not going to
electric
ban
car.
this. Here's you some money.
It's just
to
like
shut the fuck up.
Right. And another example on the other side is the electric car. We're going to ban all fueled vehicles. We're going to ban ovens. We're going to ban this and that.
Because
Next thing you
Teslas
know,
are great. We hate Elon.
Next thing you know, people start saying, you get a tap on the shoulders like, hey.
Tap the brakes.
So I think that probably what's happening is it's getting too close for Trump's comfort and Kamala's, and they're going to start making these crazy-ass promises left and right about executive orders. Like one will come out probably next week. You know what? I'm making an executive order that if your dong is below 6 inches, women, we're cutting them off. How you like that? Only 6 inches and up.
Phew.
Mexicans would be screwed.
What? Really?
Who said that?
I don't. That's not what I've learned from the past or know from the past.
I don't know, man. You're sheltered then.
I'm,
You haven't had two in one hand and one in your mouth.
Jesus. I was gonna go more for the Asian descent because I watched.
There you go, Asian.
I
There you
watched Hangover again the other night, and when what's his name jumps out of the car, out of the trunk. When's the last time you watched Hangover?
Oh God, I bet it still holds up.
It holds up.
Especially the one with Mike. Is Mike Tyson in both of them or just the second one?
No, he's in the first one too. It holds up. It still holds up. It's still funny, and it's.
You want to
still-
fuck on me?
But did you die?
Did you die?
It's funny because he's fat. Yeah, that movie.
Oh, that's one of the reasons I got a little 2-week ban from Twitter.
'Cause
Because
you
I
said
said that.
that.
I said it's funny because she's fat, and then next thing I know, you've been kicked out.
We got to put the meme of him saying that.
I think I did, but I didn't use the exact quote. I just said it's funny because she's fat.
Oh,
Like it was something stupid that like McCain's daughter or something did, and I was like, it's funny because she's fat.
hot.
McCain's daughter? No. Have you seen her? I mean, I don't know. But in some man's eyes, she probably is very pretty, but not mine.
I forgot tonight
I'll
was.
gouge my fucking eyes out.
I forgot tonight was Tucker Carlson at Dickies Arena.
We should go down there.
Johnny Govea just posted. I drove through the Tucker Carlson traffic earlier at Dickies Arena looking for any possible
What
protesters.
time was that?
Etc. to cover for the media.
To cover for the media.
He wants to cover protesters.
Media's
Didn't
got
see
that.
any protesters, but my God, it was all MAGA and a lot of MAGA. It was extremely eye-opening. I guess it was what someone would expect at one of these events. This country needs help, y'all.
I'm sorry, wait. I don't. Is there a shortage of coverage on the protesters that the media is offering out stuff to freelancers?
And probably the Fort Worth Weekly is because that's all they want to do now.
Is not pay freelancers?
Well, they don't want to pay anybody. That you're right on that. But no, all they want to do is just anything that is any barely right of center they want to write about and make a big deal about. And
Oh yeah. No,
Did you
they're
see
not
the
the only
guest
ones
word?
either. They're not the only ones.
No. I know
Oh,
they're
Observer's
not.
doing it, and so is Texas Tribune too.
the Observer's not near as bad as the Weekly is, though.
The Weekly's
You know
turned
why?
into a
piece
you know
of
why?
fucking trash.
You know
about
why?
this.
You know why the Weekly's worse is because you know it's all virtue. None of those motherfuckers have ever stood for anything. Like
Yeah.
they're not activists. They're
No.
they're virtuous actors now. They're just like my problem with a lot of the mainstream media. It's all virtue. All garbage virtue because they think that being woke is what sells.
That guy, I'm not. The articles coming out of the Weekly are fucking hilarious. The stuff that's posted on that they post on Instagram and Facebook and stuff make me laugh so fucking hard because they're just awful.
Who?
Because I've gotten rid of all their good writers.
Well, because people like getting paid for their freelance
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, people like getting paid.
Right.
That's it. People like getting paid. And when your shitty little publication ain't
Oh.
making enough money to pay anybody, what are they going to do? They're going to leave, or they're going to file lawsuits against you to fucking pay them.
See, the thing that's crazy is we've been around long enough, and maybe some of the people that
Oh,
work
but the
at-
best of it's coming up, so make sure you vote for us.
yeah.
Don't vote for us.
So the good thing now we'll probably get votes.
That's what always happens.
So-
We tell people not to vote for us, and then we get votes.
The thing about it that drives me nuts about publications, especially like the Fort Worth Weekly, is and this is definitely particular to me and my situation is you and I saw some pretty cool media outlets in the rock and roll music when we were growing up. There was some really cool shit that was being wrote, and it was because we didn't have the interwebs and you couldn't just hide behind a keyboard all the time, right? You had to go actually check out some bands, actually know about some scenes, actually get to know artists, and not just do hit pieces out of nowhere and then throw in some stupid political opinion in the hit piece and fucking call it a day, right? You actually had to have harder beat. And guess what they did? They followed heavier music, aggressive music. Every writer in the harder beat, to me, would run laps around anybody at the Weekly these days.
Well, most of the people at the Harder Beat, or that used to do stuff at the Harder Beat,
Or have already moved on from the Weekly.
worked at the Dallas Morning News. They
Yeah.
graduated to big stuff, and now they've all retired from doing stuff.
There was a guy that came into town, I remember you telling me, that did a write-up that we did on the same show. I think it was local, and you informed me that he was from Chicago
No,
and started chiming in, or was that Observer?
That's a different story. Yeah.
What's the story then? Same exact angle, though. Like, don't write about shit you don't know about.
That was, yeah, I'll get in that off air again.
Same thing, though.
Yeah.
If I get the vibe
What is
reading your
this?
articles that you have no idea what you're talking about, you just did a Wikipedia and AI article real quick to sound cool.
This was back in like 2005. And at the time, he had just moved here and didn't know anything and thought,
Got a
I can't remember.
got a promotion or something.
No, he came here to replace someone like writers normally do. When writers in newspapers usually move around across the country from one market to another market, just like they do in radio, and they gradually get bigger and bigger and bigger. But he didn't know anything, and we got into a big talk about I can't remember who it was that he thought was the greatest local band from Dallas, and I was like, what? And we went back and forth about all sorts of these bands, and this was as the 90s were ending and the 2000s were taking off, and the glory days of Deep Ellum in the 90s with Toadies, Tripping Daisy
Had faded.
was starting to fade away. Course of Empire, Bob Goblin, all that, Ugly Mustard. Those days, Hagfish, were fading. And I forgot who he said it was. I was like, there's no way. You're missing like 4 bands that are way bigger than them, or way more well known around the globe versus who it was. It was like 1100 Springs. It wasn't 1100 Springs. It was someone else.
Well, my other thing,
And he was shitting on, at the time, he was shitting on the old 97s. And I was like, what the fuck? Because they were just getting going and were already, you know, turning heads and everything. And anyway, he's now one of the biggest. He is considered a Texan now. He's been here forever. He had one of the largest music blogs
his name was
in the
Redbeard.
world. Yeah. And
So,
his name was...
Still, he's probably a fucking pussy and doesn't know about
he's
local
not.
music like me. So
He's
I'll put that out there.
He's actually...
You're probably a fucking pussy and you don't know as much about local music as me. I'll still say it.
If I can remember his name, you'll go, oh, that's who it fucking was? Oops.
No, I won't. No, I
'Cause
won't.
he
I'm pretty
does.
confident in me now as a man, so I don't fucking
It
give a shit
doesn't have
anymore.
anything to do with that, but he does know. He's come around and he does know.
I don't
does
give
know.
a shit. I know more.
Okay. All right.
Does
You
he know about
everything.
the permanent? I goddamn right, dude.
You know everything.
You
know
want to
everything.
ask me a question,
You're the
chat
greatest.
room? I know everything. I'm
Remember?
Dustin Jr.
Remember we did this when you fucking had the local music jack-off session against, what's his name?
Who?
You were the greatest of all time. Whiskey Boy, when you and Whiskey Boy challenged each other.
To the music off? Dick off?
You don't remember this?
No.
The first time he
Sounds
came
like
in
something
here,
stupid
he
I
was
would try to
saying the
say.
same thing, and you kept saying the same shit that you were the greatest, and you ended up beating Whiskey Boy. But Whiskey Boy didn't know shit.
Is that my one skin on the wall? That's the only person I know about?
God damn it. What was the name?
Whiskey Boy. You want to do another local music off?
That's why he wanted to stab you.
It's because I out local musiced him.
Yeah, what was the fucking name? Man, if Nick was in there, he'd be like, I could ask him.
Of who? The guy?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit enough, man. I'm just fucking with you. I don't
No,
care.
but
I don't care.
It's bothering me because I can't remember the guy's name, and you know him.
Well, you're not letting me get to my main point about Fort Worth Weekly.
What? That we all know they fucking suck. It's the worst.
No, but you
magazine
do
in the
know the
world.
story. Is the thing they did to that country music guy when he went and played for Trump. That was the
yeah.
biggest sack of shit I'd ever heard an organization that calls himself media had ever done.
And that supports the arts and enjoys the arts and wants
And then
to support
shits
local
on someone as soon as
and
they
then
start
just
breaking out.
fucks their career over.
Right.
Period.
I also don't like the way the Fort Worth Weekly has handled aggressive music. I think sometimes they mislabel things that
No one over there knows anything about anything heavier than Leon Bridges. They all want to suck Leon Bridges' dick. So
that would probably be my number 3 right there. Is if you're not Leon Bridges, then you're not shit to them.
No one over the Weekly knows what the fuck is going on really.
Yeah.
In this area, except for leftist politics. Fully leftist
But the thing
politics.
is, I've gotten into arguments with them about that when I still used to do Reddit and the Twitter and go Twitter fight them and stuff. And when you get down to, all right, tell me about some of these policies and stuff that you're posting about, they know nothing.
Nothing.
It's all virtue.
They miss a whole lot of shit. They say they support free speech, and they come over here and they attack us for talking free speech and telling things how it is. Their fucking editor calls me up, or not the editor, the fucking owner
Crying?
calls me up crying.
How many
and
times have you
being
gotten a call
fucking dick.
from him?
Twice. Once
Oh.
was the long one. There was a second
I thought
time.
it
but
had
once-
happened more.
No, but they're all about people being free speech and the arts being what they should be, but then they fuck people over. Or
For
they
having an
shoot them
opinion.
down for having an opinion or talking bad about them.
Or going and playing a show for the President of the United States.
Or that. If you don't suck up to them, then you don't. And then,
We will never suck up to you, Fort Worth Weekly.
although
Sorry.
I have had
You
several
can-
of the writers go, we love what y'all are saying about it because it's true. And you should see DMs and messages sent to us talking about shit about that paper.
Oh, everybody
being
thinks
like-
we talk a lot about them, but there's so much more stuff that we know.
I think this is the first time we've talked about them in like 6 months.
Yeah, we've had a good
Besides
little
taking
break.
little stabs.
But we're
because I
getting
didn't
close we're getting close to the
Well, it's best stuff time.
right,
So
it's
vote
best
for
of
us.
time.
No, I deliberately did not want to talk about them anymore at all. But this cracked me up, just opening this up real quick and seeing this. People are freaking out because they didn't think this Tucker Carlson thing would be well attended. Like no one would come and see him. You're in. This isn't a.
That's the detachment thing, though.
This isn't a blue town yet.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Dustin, that's the people that are still harping on.
Kid Rock sold the arena out.
You got to remember they're not living in reality because they listen to and they live and breathe what they see on the mainstream media and the news. So they don't do any. All they know is what CNN and MSNBC is saying, which is Tucker bad, Tucker bad.
Or if you're young,
Trump, Orange Man bad.
or if you're young, like the person that reported on this is, he believes everything his paper tells him, which is the Weekly, and doesn't watch TV. A lot of young people don't watch
And doesn't
TV.
read a real newspaper.
Doesn't read a real newspaper.
Well, I would encourage him to go read the Wall Street Journal, even though the Wall Street Journal's infected too. But
That's a little bit of work. A little bit of work. I mean, people, you either only read your Instagram feed and get all your news from, or your Facebook feed and get all your news from it, which is obvious. You can see a lot of people that are obvious with that. That's how they get their feed. Or that's how they get their
that's
news.
how the Fine People hoax and all that garbage hoax, that all the stuff that they've made up about Trump is usually Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Twitter feed.
Well, Twitter feed is where you get all the stuff that's made up about Kamala.
Now,
Which I gotta find that news story of what she said. It's aggravating me because it made me. That was I just went.
I tell you what,
I wish all of them would shut up and die.
yeah. Are you to the point where you just mute everything if you're watching any kind of national broadcast? You just mute the commercials?
So in my truck,
Because I do.
in my work truck, I have a TV set up right with an antenna, and it usually every morning I've got it on Channel 4, Fox 4 News. Basically, just to watch traffic and weather and see what's going on, and then just kind of.
Is that your
stories here
go-to
and
in the
there.
morning? Is Fox 4 News? Because I dig that one because of Hanabata.
Oh, wait till you see the picture. I was sent.
Is it her?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
In a compromising. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. We're about to end the show.
Stop. Turn it off. No, I kind of like them because they're all kind of goofy in a weird way. Like
They are.
they're all a little weird, and so it's easy.
Is Principal still sober?
She's still sober.
Okay, good.
She took some time off and got sober,
good.
but it's also the easiest channel to pick up through the air
Oh yeah.
with an air antenna. But the fucking commercials, like we talked about earlier, it's Ted Cruz and Colin Allred back to back to back to back with a Thomas J. Henry commercial. And they fucking make me go insane.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about you, Thomas J. Henry. You're not even here. You're down in San Antonio.
You heard any advertisements of Whiskey Boy? Is he still running for office? He won though. Didn't we find out?
He's won in office. So he's
We
one
got a
of
winner
them.
on our side now. Well, I can't say our
He's
side.
not, he wants to kill you.
He does want to kill
He's
you.
not on our side.
But I mean, he's coming to the, what's his face?
He was
Kurt. He didn't win. And what about the girl that was running for a city
She
council
didn't win.
seat? She didn't win. But Whiskey Boy, we can call him our own winner now.
he can be a winner in your heart.
Hey,
Not mine.
let's talk more about me talking about how I'm the greatest, though. That was entertaining to me.
You beat
Is
him.
that really what that was about?
We had that content. Y'all both sat down. You
We
gotta
had
go
a
back.
We had a local music.
Because
dick off?
he thought he knew everything about local music, and I was like, and we even told him beforehand. All right, if
That's
you're
what led
so
to the-
great, we're gonna have a contest, a quiz when you come in. And then he started. Well, I don't really know that much,
And that's when he decided, I hope Matt dies.
and the questions went from really, really easy to
I
difficult.
do remember you doing that because you told me beforehand that it's going to get harder. They're not all going to be easy like this.
And it went easy, then went gradually hard, and he didn't even get the easy shit right. Like he didn't even know couldn't even answer like who sang Possum Kingdom.
See what happens, Susie, when you try to out
fuck?
Texas me? I'm the Texas
Are
greatest.
you bringing that back out, Texas me?
Let's go, man.
I understand if you can't get Halls of the Machine,
Oh, as a band?
which is what happened
Yeah.
after Course of Empire. But when you can't tell me who wrote and sang the song Possum Kingdom,
Was that really?
Get the fuck out!
We need to bring back random yells. That's why I did it all the time when I was drunk in here, because I thought it was funny when we randomly yell, "I'm the greatest!"
But it's funnier when you do it off mic. Like,
It doesn't
just the
kill
way-
the ears.
that, and it's
Yeah.
just like, what? Because people used to think that was hilarious. I think they did.
Son of a bitch! Remember when we used to, God, we had to take a clause
That was
because of
a
the
cause.
GD.
It was that. How many clauses do we have on the show? We stopped peeing in people's butt. We
GD.
stopped GD
Can't say FAG
or gay.
or gay. Can't say retarded.
Can't. That's a.
And you can't
that
say
changed.
tard.
And we didn't talk about the Fort Worth Weekly. That's 7 right there.
We put a clause in for weekly,
Well,
and we
I
just violated it.
I kind of did. I didn't want to talk. I think I said on the show I didn't want to talk
So
about
can I
it.
violate one in real quick?
Been so much.
God damn it!
That one's worth violating. Yeah.
Well, it's been good, man. This was a good show. I had
One
fun. One day we're all gonna meet in the pie in the sky and be family and love each other.
No, I want a full on. If we got into a fight, okay, it's you and I. It was a
We
whole
just fist
scene.
fought.
It's Anchorman, and all the media gets together and fights.
So awesome. Like
All
we
the
did
Fort Worth media gets together.
we covered it,
No,
or your team, my team.
we're fighting, and we got to fight the Fort Worth Weekly.
Then all of a sudden,
We
Andrew
win,
would
right?
show up in the middle of it and be like,
The podcasters. It'd be like me, you,
"Telemundo."
you, Andrew. Susie's gonna have
Would
to fight in
Perez
this.
come up and do the Spanish one?
We'll have.
Telemundo. Cállate la boca,
We'll have-
pichoto.
If we're gonna be full JJTM, we'll bring Jeremy up too,
So he could be the.
and we have to fight the Fort Worth Weekly.
Who's going to be the weather type people?
I don't know, but I'm just saying our network, our podcast versus the Fort Worth Weekly.
We'd annihilate them.
Yeah,
We'd annihilate their lover, too. You know what I'm talking about? He's been in a Gap commercial.
he's in a Gap commercial, really?
Yeah, it's one of his songs.
Oh
I think
yeah.
a couple of Christmases
So
ago.
you don't want to go cover that show at Dickie's?
Tucker Carlson or the
I thought you were talking about Leon Bridges.
Leon Bridges?
Yeah, Leon Bridges.
Nah, I'm kind of over that guy. He's awesome. He's an amazing artist, amazing musician, has a great voice, but I'm kind of over him.
I'm not feeling the new stuff. It doesn't have the same feel as the old stuff. Like there's something weird about it. Like I'm not the new record. I'm not feeling it.
I haven't
I'm not
into
jammed.
jammed it, man. I'll have to check it out.
I'm not.
I like
I'm not grabbing it.
Mm.
I like Van Damme.
websites, and I like Van Damme.
I like heavy stuff.
I like a band
I like stuff I can play for my mom.
called Kubla Khan.
That just released that record. That's pretty fucking good too. Pretty fucking good.
Short, isn't
Well,
it?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to have a long album to annihilate everything.
We do write too long of songs. We always have. Like this new
Stink ain't that long.
No, yeah, Stink.
The stuff in Stink. ain't
Yeah,
long.
but the Drag the Ocean tends to drag a little bit long, and also you and I like to make left turns and go the long way around.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that you're starting to incorporate that in another band, which is awesome. Because I'll just leave it at that. Which, by the way, you're playing a show this weekend. Why don't you
Yes.
tell everybody?
Friday
we
night
leave.
at the Cicada, the Spectacle will be playing a show. Come out, come hang out. There's a bunch of good bands on the bill. We're doing this with our buddies from
Ox Combine?
Ox Combine.
Talk about some little bit of thrash influence
Yeah, and they're a fun band to watch.
and great dudes. We should have had them in this week, man.
Should have.
We blew it. Someone should book us some guests.
Work has been killing me, so I can't even think about everything. But there's a band called Open Hell playing. I know nothing about them.
Hey, with
And
the
then-
name Open Hell,
I think we just opened hell. I'm gonna
I
get a
just
phone
did out
call
of my
tomorrow.
butt because I've been taking Metamucil.
Gross. And then there's another band opening things up called 10 Kilowatt Test Drive, which
Already a fan because of the name.
the name's badass. I wonder if they're fans of Elon. 10 Kilowatt Test Drive. Are they more?
Elon, I don't hate you, man. I just want that to be known. I don't hate anybody anymore. I'm a man of love.
I don't really hate anybody anymore. I just hate what they do, and how.
Yeah, you hate the sinner.
I hate how hypocritical people are.
That's a wide open topic, but that agitates me too when people are hypocritical or talk about it out of both sides of their mouth.
When you want to say you have freedom of speech, then you try to take someone's freedom of speech away from them and try to cancel them. Fuck you! The fuck out! I'll come after you with both barrels, motherfucker!
Do you feel lightheaded after you do that sometimes?
Sometimes.
All right, man. Everybody, thanks for listening. Susie, I love you. Sorry about ripping on you and saying I was going to put you in a blender. Fort Worth Weekly, sorry. We kicked you in the nuts a little bit. And Guy that I don't remember name. I'm sorry. I don't know as much about local music as you.
Pete Friedman.
Pete Friedman. Sorry, man.
I had to remember
you're a
his
good
name
dude,
too,
actually.
And it just hit me.
Yeah.
And, So, I'm not sorry for the Fort Worth Weekly. Don't try to come after us. Don't try to do what you did to me personally.
Oh. Something off air we need to talk about?
Try to get me canceled. My photography career. Fuck you! I'll hunt you down.
How do you
Both
cancel
barrels.
photography? They were going to bash your camera up against a tree?
Oh, we're not going to publish any photos that you shoot of bands.
Did you say, bitch, I publish my own shit. I don't give a fuck.
If you do promo photos for certain bands, or for bands around here, we're not going to use them in our publication. Because, man, we're little bitches. Fuck you, man. How about pay me, motherfucker, for the work I did for you? Pay my friends. I'm going to just keep going off. This is going to be an all-night thing. I'm leaving. Eat a dick!
I think I'm going to stop us down during the corn set, and you just got to say that.
Eat a dick?
Yeah. Just stop the show, and you just got to get up on the mic.